Hold on. Gotta make it official.
Hi, what can we get started for you?
Can I get the Trenta Very Berry refresher?
You said you need a Trenta Very Berry?
That's right.
Anything else?
Light on the berries.
Okay.
And a venti ice water.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, have everything else on my desk.
What'd you think about that, huh?
Can you go back through it again? I don't think I was recording.
Oh, damn.
So you didn't get a peanut butter sandwich?
No, I could just make one at the house.
Yeah. Did you try making it the Bill Belichick way?
Dude, I had a dream that I made one the wrong way.
Oh boy.
And I had this dream where I made this sandwich, peanut butter sandwich with the jelly, which I normally don't use, but then I pick it up and it's all red on one side. I was like, Belichick.
Yeah. Damn. Should have listened to the genius.
Yeah, we got all kinds of geniuses. We got the genius of the booking genius, Jim Cornette. We got the football genius, Bill Belichick. Was it the genius of the West Coast offense? He's what the heck was his name?
Bill Walsh.
That's right. Joe Walsh.
No. Bill.
Bill Walsh.
Bob Walsh.
There's a Bob. Was Bob Walsh? Was he the?
I think.
Who was the guy that did the unsolved or the children? You know what I'm talking about? Where?
Oh yeah, the America's Most Wanted.
America's Most Wanted. Wasn't he a Walsh?
Yeah. I don't know. I forget his first name though. Was it Jason?
No. It was something Walsh though.
Yeah. Is that show still on the TVs?
I don't think that it's on.
I don't think it's on anymore. He does a commercial for like a life alert system now. Like.
No thanks.
Yeah,
that's what I saw. I saw the commercial also.
Yeah, some kind of if you go missing or something, you can press a button or something.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, I saw that as well. I mean, it's definitely a sad story what happened. I mean, didn't his kid got kidnapped when he was like, it was really young, like 4 or 5 years old or something?
Oh, yeah. Yep. That's what inspired him to do the show.
Yeah. I mean, you don't see a lot of those kind of TV show stories like that anymore. Remember Unsolved Mysteries? Dude, that was so scary, that like music and everything, that guy's voice.
Oh yeah. That was Robert Stack, wasn't it?
Yeah. What else was he famous for?
Airplane.
Ah, okay, yeah. Was he the pilot?
Nah, he was like the retired air traffic controller or captain or something, and when the plane was crashing or on its way down, they went to his house to bring him out of retirement and help him bring the plane down. Something like that.
Okay.
I could be all mixed up on that, but it was funny. It was he was good. He was in other stuff too, but in Airplane, him and
the ice water too.
Oh geez, look how demanding Jason is.
Yeah.
John Walsh. John Walsh was his name. America's
John Walsh.
Most Wanted.
He's got to be well into his 60s by now, I would think.
Yeah.
What are you
I
gonna do?
didn't know this. They canceled the show in 1996. Fox did. And then they brought it back and retitled it America's Most Wanted, America Fights Back. But then Fox canceled it again in 2011.
So it had that long of a run?
I wonder why they canceled it. Like, why would you cancel a show like that?
Well, obviously it's a ratings thing.
I guess, but I don't know. You think you'd want that show out there regardless. It's helping fight crime.
Yeah, I mean, what you need some type of...
They could do that on the internet now.
Yeah, I suppose you could. I wonder, what does it say there? How many people were held captured because of that show? Has to be a lot.
Number of seasons, 25. From 1988 to 2012 on Fox. And then it was on the Lifetime channel from... they also aired on Lifetime from 2011 through 2012. I guess the reruns on Lifetime? Is that what that would be?
I don't know.
I guess so. But yeah, on Fox, 1988 to 2012. That is a hell of a run.
I mean, is there anything that has longer run than that in television?
Simpsons, Monday Night Raw.
That was probably the only thing, right?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, Monday Night Raw is the longest episodic television series.
What station is Monday Night Raw on?
How don't you know that, Jason?
Is it USA or something?
Don't you tune in? Yeah, don't you tune in every Monday night and Tuesday night?
I've never watched Raw.
That's a shame. Yeah, for now it's on USA Network. It may switch over to Fox. We were talking about... I thought maybe Kirby was talking about this on the podcast recently, but it may switch over to Fox. Under the new TV. Fox really wants WWE. Bring it to primetime TV.
It'd be a nice move for them.
Yeah. So.
Now if they could just get the
We'll
NWO back together.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think that contract is due, I think, in September. I think we'll find out then. So, what were we talking about? Oh, TV shows. Yeah.
America's Most Wanted. 25-year run.
Simpsons has been on for how long now? That's got to be just as long.
Since probably like 87, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I was going to say it's the longest animated comedy series. Yeah, 29 seasons. Jesus. And I was there for season 1. The first episode was December 17th, 1989.
So at that particular time, Fox, they had America's Most Wanted and The Simpsons.
Yeah. Fox used to have a hell of a lineup, especially like in the 80s and like the late 80s and 90s with the you had this man. You had what? Simpsons, America's Most Wanted, but then you had the comedies like Simpsons, and then In Living Color.
Yeah.
Yep. Married with Children.
Wow, I forgot. Yeah.
Gary Shandling Show.
Okay.
Get a Life. That was awesome too.
So they were just knocking it out of the park.
Remember Get a Life with Chris Elliott? He was the 30-year-old paper boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. So, and a lot of them were on Sunday night. That was a hell of a lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say In Living Color?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was... We'd go to school on Monday morning. We'd go to school on Monday morning to just talk about, those shows on Sunday night.
Homie the Clown.
Yeah. And then, Married with Children was so, so good at the time. I mean, controversial too, because it was like, pretty crude for back, you know what I mean? Like, it was one of the first shows that you're like, wow, I can't believe they said that or did that, it's like...
Yeah, they were ahead of their time.
Yeah. Good stuff. I think literally you could turn on Fox at 7 o'clock at night on Sunday and just watch it right up to 10.
Yeah, that's obviously the goal, right?
Yeah. I don't think it's like that anymore.
No. I, like when I was watching that, or listening to the stuff about the NWO studying up.
Oh, yeah.
On the NWO, and they talk about how they went to a 2-hour format for their Monday Nitro.
Mm-hmm.
And like I didn't watch any wrestling back then, so I mean, like I said, I quit when the Ultimate Warrior beat Hogan. So anything that happened after that, I have no idea. So,
okay.
But yeah, there's definitely an interesting story about how that whole thing came to be.
The Monday Night Wars between WCW and WWF at the time.
Yeah. So, and then they went head to head on time slot too.
Eventually, yes, they did.
Okay.
Yeah. But at one time when they started, like, Raw wasn't live a lot of times. Sometimes it was taped.
Okay.
And, but Bischoff used to give away the first hour of the show, so you didn't have to watch it. So, he would come to the ring and just tell you what went on with Monday Night Raw, so you didn't have to tune in. It was good.
Really?
Yeah. I'll have to send you the clip when you should watch that when Bischoff came to WWF as a general manager. When Vince McMahon announced him as a general manager, I played the clip plenty of times in our group chat.
I think I did watch that.
You actually have to watch that 10-minute promo that he cut because he explains all of it right there. It's really good. But the Monday Night Wars was awesome.
That's pretty dirty, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty dirty.
So Bischoff started. You started listening to Bischoff's new podcast called 83 Weeks?
Well, I just listened to that one episode about, how the NWO started.
Right. No, that was the first episode of 83 Weeks. So.
Oh, it really is?
Yeah, he just started it. It's really good. I was shocked when you were listening to it. I said, why are you listening to this stuff? And then Jason tells me.
Because I bought an NWO RC monster truck. It has the NWO themed body on it. So I wanted to know. I mean, I kind of knew what was going on, but I wanted to figure out exactly what the story was so that if I had this RC body, that I would know what I was. Hello. I'm back.
So, before we got disconnected, we were talking about. Hey, what happened? By the way, you just hung up on me, or what?
No, I was getting out of the truck. I had the phone a certain way, and it started dialing somebody else that I hadn't talked to in 8 years.
Oh my god. Oh man.
And I'm like, oh no! No! I'm like pushing the cancel button.
Oh, no.
And I canceled both calls.
Yeah. Have they responded yet?
No. So I got out of that.
Yeah. Whew. So you got the NWO truck. Now, where did you buy this at?
A guy that he does a lot of RC monster trucks on Facebook. He builds different themed trucks, and if he gets tired of them, he sells them. So this particular truck, he said he actually never ran it. He just built it. And so we have an event coming up at the Bigfoot Open House June 1st. So I needed what they call a sport mod truck, which is a class they dedicate to. It's kind of the least expensive version of having a race truck, I guess you could say.
Okay.
So this class sport mod, I wanted to get a truck for it. This one was like, I was like, you know what, this thing's pretty close. So I got it, and I'm going to do some stuff to it and add some of my own things. But you can never leave anything alone. So
that's awesome.
But this NWO, which is during the mid-90s, I guess WCW sponsored a monster truck, and they just put all black body. It just said NWO on it, and had like these shiny wheels on it, or flat caps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that's how the guy built this RC truck, and so that's cool. So I think I'll do some stuff and try to make it look cool. Maybe I'll run it as the NWO.
Oh, that'd be awesome. You know what? Just for this,
I need to get a T-shirt though.
Yeah, I have one, but you can buy new ones.
You can?
Yeah, off of WWE.com. Go to the store and click right there. Boom.
So what did
what was I gonna say?
WWE ended up buying WCW. Is that what happened?
Yeah. I'll send you all the links, and for all you wrestling fans out there, I'll post the links also for you, so you can watch them. I know. They're probably like, God, just get on with the interview with Kody. Which I told Kody we're running a little late, so I told him about 6:15. He said, perfect.
Okay.
And also, at the beginning of this podcast, I'm going to drop the Kevin Nash. Remember when Kevin Nash gave the, hey, this is Big Sexy Kevin Nash. You're listening to the Radio Impound podcast.
Mm-hmm.
NWO, baby.
So that was a big deal, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I didn't really realize through all that, kind of. So anyway, we were saying that I was kind of looking into all that because I have this truck, and I was like, well, people ask me about the NWO. I kind of wanted to know a little bit about it.
Yeah, you wanted to know what it stood for. Oh, New World Order.
Well,
okay.
Yeah. I mean, I knew that part, but I kind of wanted to know what the real, kind of the backstory.
So Jason's in our group chat, and he's like talking about NWO, and I was like, what are you doing? And you're oh, I'm listening, I'm watching this or listening. I'm like, why? And then you send me a picture of the monster truck that you bought. I was like, you son of a bitch. I was like, damn you, I want that monster truck.
I told you I'll send it up to you to do a promo when I'm done.
You want me to cut a promo? I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, you should be able to cut a promo. After all that wrestling you've watched.
You can go to, do you still have the WWE Network?
I don't think so.
Well, you ought to get that, and you can go on there and watch the Monday Night Wars, and there's a whole history of it there.
Oh, so they talk about that situation.
Yeah, it's like an hour long or whatever, and it gives you good info on it, and all the interviews with everybody involved. McMahon, Bischoff. You can also listen to Eric Bischoff's new podcast, 83 Weeks.
I saw that when I was listening to that. I noticed they talked about the lawsuit they had between them and the WWE, and WWE won the lawsuit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Boy, Ted Turner and McMahon hated each other. Boy. Ted Turner called McMahon up and said, "I'm in the wrestling business now." And McMahon said, "Well, that's good." He goes, "That's good, but I'm in the entertainment business."
You know what I didn't realize is, I did realize it, but one thing that stuck out to me is how much that Vince McMahon throws himself into so many storylines and doesn't mind being sort of the whooping boy of the whole thing, just to make the story.
The McMahon Steve Austin era was just so awesome. Stone Cold, God.
What I didn't see any of that, and I didn't realize.
You need to go back. You need to get the network and just go back and watch that stuff.
What I didn't realize is how popular that Stone Cold Steve Austin was.
It was unreal.
I mean, I heard people talk about it, and I heard saw some shirts here and there, but I never realized that he was on the Hulk Hogan level in terms of sales and or the draw, right? That's the buzz term.
Yeah.
It was the draw. I didn't realize that he's on the Hulk Hogan level. And even one of the guys, I don't remember in that podcast, one of them said that in terms of money, that Stone Cold actually was bigger than Hogan.
Right. Absolutely.
And they said a lot of that has to do with prices going up, and it's like if a ticket in the 80s to see Hogan was $20 and then they're 50, or whatever the case.
Yeah, and the pricing, of merchandise too, and stuff like that.
Yeah, they said it's not really necessarily adjusted for that, but just dollars to dollars, Stone Cold's obviously bigger, which is impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think, just kind of like casually, I wouldn't have thought that anybody would have been close to Hogan. But, I guess that was my perception.
You got to go back and watch the Attitude Era. I mean, you have to watch that whole storyline between McMahon and Austin. It was just so freaking good. And it was like people can live through Austin because Austin was against his boss, you know what I mean? And he was fighting back and beating him up and stuff. It was just good. And McMahon was really good. I mean, he really made that storyline work. I mean, I think Austin even credits McMahon for making it. Like, he thinks that McMahon was actually better at it than he was during that run. It was really good.
Yeah, it's interesting to go back and hear a lot of those old stories, and because it doesn't really necessarily have to do with wrestling. There's a lot of business going on there, and different things happening that aren't even. It's not even really about wrestling.
No, it's about the business side of it. That's what I love about that whole WCW versus WWF. I mean, it was, the business aspect of it I love. Like the two, Bischoff and McMahon going at it. Ted Turner, McMahon, if you want to say it that way. But I just love that whole thing there. And I just love listening to Bischoff talk about that time. And, he just came out with that new podcast. And it's just great to listen to that. It's like over an hour of just talking about the business side of it, and how they were trying to attack WWE and take them down. It's just really good stuff.
Yeah, and they obviously had a really good thing going. I don't really know. What exactly unraveled it? Was it just
AOL AOL came in and bought Time Warner, and the suits at AOL didn't really like wrestling.
Okay.
So, without getting all into it really deep, that was the main fall of it. Bischoff couldn't get anything approved. He couldn't get his budget raised, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because they just didn't really care about that aspect of the network. They just kind of
okay.
They didn't want to approve anything. Nobody would work with Eric on anything. So when AOL came in, that was the fall of it.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, Bischoff's buddy Ted Turner was gone. He wasn't the guy he went to anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he ran into problems.
Hmm.
Yep. They just didn't like it.
Yeah, I mean, and what was interesting is because, they had, or they didn't have to convince, but they partly had to convince Hogan to play the heel or the bad guy character, and they obviously had a huge investment into his contract, and they kind of admittedly were like, hey, the good guy, yellow and red wasn't selling anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like it did in the old days, and that whole turn that he did really kind of revitalized his whole career.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting that, like a lot of back and forth. Up until they were still questioning whether he was going to show up and do what they had agreed on, because there were so many people that were in his corner that didn't want him to do it. And it's funny because it's like you said, people, it's like, oh, fake wrestling's fake and all this kind of stuff. And what was weird is when you listen to this stuff and you hear the people talk about their wrestling, even though the results are predetermined and it's they have a storyline and all that kind of stuff, but they're very protective over their image and their wins and losses.
Mm-hmm.
And like they said, that Hogan was like, he wouldn't, purposely, there's X people he would just refuse to lose to. Like, it's like, nope. If he had so much power, he could just say, nope, that's not happening.
Right.
And
very protective.
Yeah, and even even when they talk about all the people they spend so much time with those characters that it's such a big thing for them, because it's like they kind of are that character in a way. It's like they said, like the Ultimate Warrior had a run, but he really couldn't do any other character. So
mm-hmm.
It was like when that style came out, went out of fashion or whatever.
He was done.
Yeah. So anyway.
Plus, he didn't really want to work with anybody on anything. He didn't want to change his style at all. So I don't know if he could have, but he didn't want to even try.
Yeah, they said he was like the goofiest guy to talk to.
Yeah. They didn't get along with him either.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't really like him. And just they said he wasn't a good worker. Not really a lot of good information about him. And they said Vince loved him just because of the way he looked, and he kind of propelled him through the ranks and became a top star there for that time period. But because it sold that gimmick on the people, and they liked that music and that ring entrance, and had a nice little thing for a while.
Well,
yeah,
there you go. There's your wrestling news.
Yeah.
But that's cool. You got the NWO truck.
Yep, rocking the NWO. Maybe we'll try it out at the Bigfoot open house, see how she runs.
When is that now?
Do some stuff. June 1st.
June 1st, okay. Where's that at?
Pacific, Missouri, which is right near St. Louis.
Got it.
So.
Am I going to that with you?
I don't know that you're scheduled on that one or not.
All right, I'll have to look. Would make sense, especially if you're on an NWO truck.
That's true. You could help put it over.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at you with the wrestling terms.
See? I got it, dude.
You learned a lot. Yeah. Learned a lot.
Yeah. I got the draw, putting someone over. What's the call when the crowd goes crazy? The pop.
Yep.
Got that. Getting up on the terminology.
That's awesome. Good stuff.
What was I going to pull up here? Oh, yeah. June 1st, Pacific, Missouri. We got Silver State going on right now.
Okay.
So I've been kind of checking in.
Yes, you guys are doing live videos from there?
Yeah, we did some. Live RC doesn't really like us to do any kind of live coverage of the actual racing.
You could just do a little bit, right? I mean, you could put up there, like a minute or two or something.
Well, we can pre-record it and then put it up, but he doesn't want us to be live if he's like the number one media guy there.
Oh, all right.
So
I thought I was watching live video.
Well, no, I mean, we did some that was live.
Oh, okay. Practice, I think. Practice.
Yeah, so we did some was live, but yeah, since they're there, kind of like their event, so yeah, we're not live right now, but it's all good. I mean, Thomas is there taking photos and do some pre-recorded stuff, video, and it's the first year they've ran the track indoors at this South Point Hotel and Casino.
Mm-hmm.
So Joey the Dirt building built a whole 8th scale track, built a 5th scale track.
Man, looks nice, man.
Yeah, it is. It's just the guys are struggling a little bit because it's bumpy. Well, when you've never been somewhere before, yeah, it's real bumpy, and it's just going to get more bumpy.
Off-road bumpy. That doesn't mix.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the tough part, it's not that it's bumpy, it's when you haven't been running much recently on bumpy tracks, you kind of have to readjust.
Yeah.
And it's not like the results are much different.
Right.
When you look down the results.
Nah, I'm just busting you off-road, guys. Gotta have everything smooth.
Well, it's the consistency is what kind of gets you.
Right. Well, what are you going to do? I mean, hell, they just made the track.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it looked beautiful when it was finished, and now it's getting kind of dry and beat up. So, we got to, usually all these tracks we've been to before, so we have some kind of basis on what tire and how the track, changes. And when you go to these places for a first time, it's, everything's kind of new. So you got to, kind of make adjustments on the fly and see if it works. And you got to watch the track because the track is constantly changing. So it's drying and getting bumpier every single time, every time you're out. So good to keep an eye on it, and that's all you can really do. Texted with Mayfield a little bit, talked with Thomas some. I mean, you have what's funny is we got an event going on in the Philippines right now.
Oh, yeah? What the hell is that one?
David Aronafalk's over at the Philippines. They have an event Scotty Ernst puts on called the Philippine Masters.
Okay.
And it's kind of the complete opposite track situation. Like, this track is super smooth, real cool looking layout. Doesn't look bumpy. And then they have, I don't know what they put on the track. Like, it's oil, I think.
Oil?
Yeah, I think they put oil on the track.
Okay.
Which actually, like, the cars, it actually is a really good, it's a pretty nice thing to put on the track if you're allowed, because the tire wear goes down. The tires don't wear as much. There's no dust.
Wow.
And the cars and it's super consistent to drive on.
And it's environmental friendly.
Yeah, not exactly, but
no. It's not vegetable oil.
I don't know what it is, to be honest.
Quaker State 10W30.
Yeah, but it always works great.
Huh.
Like, they used it in Thailand.
Wow.
When we were there several years back. So it's always been popular over there, because it just keeps things together. And
yeah, I don't think you'll ever see that over here.
No.
Environmentalists will be all over that.
Yeah, you're not going to get too much by them on that.
Damn. So what's the hot setup at the Silver States? What tires you guys running?
Right now they're running the Reflex tire, I think, on Buggy. Probably Triple D's on Truggy.
Okay.
That's kind of the... But, it's compounds are going to change. Depending on how things change. And it's like a totally different compound that, David's running totally different stuff over at the Philippine Masters. They've only ran one round of qualifying so far there, but he did TQ the Buggy round. But yeah, he just has two totally different conditions.
What's he running?
He's running our Detox tire, R2 compound, which is our long wear, kind of our first long wear compound. And people love that tire, the Detox.
Detox.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know that it is our best 8-scale tire ever, but it's probably one of the top 3 for sure.
Wow. That's cool.
I think previous to the Worlds in Italy, our best tire ever was probably the Hybrid in 8-scale. That was probably our best 8-scale tire. And then we did the Worlds in Italy. We made the Reflex tire. And now the Reflex has kind of taken over for the Hybrid, and then we made a Triple D. And those are kind of probably our two best 8-scale tires, and then the Detox. So those 3 kind of probably our best 3 8-scale tires of all time, I'd say. All time.
Nice. Who takes credit for designing those? You or Allison? Jazzy?
It's a team effort.
That's the right answer. See that? You're a good dude.
I mean, there's some that I've designed 100%. There's some that I haven't. There's some that they're all based on, what direction we need to go and what direction I think we need to go. So they're kind of all on my plate. So one way or another, they're my projects. But
Are we ever
Yeah,
ever going to run out of
they're-
patterns to do for tires? I mean, you guys just thought about everything, haven't you?
Yeah, that's probably a good question.
It's like, how much further can you go?
Doesn't seem like we will.
Yeah. All right.
So I sent you some photos here so you can see like kind of where they started in Vegas, and then you can see some of like David's race in the Philippines, and you can kind of see like how dark the track is. And
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it looks like this one picture of his car going through a turn. It really looks like he's driving on motor oil.
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at right now. That's hilarious.
That's what it looks like. But I mean, it's great for the cars, the track.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to worry about the dust. I mean, when I was at P&B, and I love P&B,
My God.
the race at Psycho Nitro, but I mean, I think just like recently, my sinuses got over the dust that's there.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And it's crazy. But I mean, if they put oil on the track, it wouldn't happen.
That'd be great. Oh, look, hey, this.
Oh, next year you'll have Bobby Moore out there with these big 55-gallon drums of oil. What you doing, buddy?
Nothing at all. Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. You guys just you go away, and in the morning the track will be sweet.
Wow, look at these photos. This is crazy. Yeah. Pure black.
Yeah, I mean, I love that condition personally because I think it's consistent.
Yeah, it looks great.
The tire wear and everything is really good, especially if you run the tires made for those conditions. I mean, David says he has a tire with 2.5 hours on it.
Wow. Yeah, dude, you're not going to be able to do this ever over here. Ever. I mean, you just drop oil on the ground over here and you're in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
What do we got here? What do we got here, buddy?
Yeah. Oh, man.
But yeah, we got some great races going on right now.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
a
good time to, we just came off our first ever carpet national. We had because we have our indoor national series, which is dirt, and then we have a turf Nats, which is in Connecticut, and now we have a carpet Nats, which is in Oregon, and the guys just got back from there. It was a couple races ago, but that was a successful race. Mayfield and Spencer ran really well out there. It was Casey Vital's indoor track called Northwest Hobbies. Good one. It's a good race. And I was just at OCRC over the last weekend, did the stock Nats there.
Yeah, how'd that go?
But, it was sold out. Sold out event. No available entries, I believe.
Wow.
So they have two classes. They have a sportsman stock, and then they have a pro. So, there's some people that, they're like, oh my God, you got Spencer and Dakota and these guys are running stock, Dustin Evans, which under normal conditions I totally wouldn't agree with. But this particular race, OCRCs actually wants those guys to run the pro stock class and then have the sportsman guys run the sportsman stock, which it works okay. Mm-hmm. It's just, I just hate stock, so it's so boring to me. But guys love it. They were, full. The race was full. And, what can you say? It was real popular. But it took me a while to kind of wrap my head around all right, kind of got to get into this.
Yeah.
Stock cars, and because before that it's just like, oh man, everyone's complaining about, speed and, oh, I got to get more power and this and that. It's just like, oh, come on. It's like, how you get more power? You run modified.
There you go.
But, that's not really what they're talking about. What they're talking about is, I want more power in comparison to,
standard stock.
This guy looks like he has more power than me. And what do I need to do?
Yeah.
Brushes and spring combos.
Yeah.
As you were saying.
4495s with green and purple springs. I don't know.
Yeah, how did they say it back then?
I forget. I think it was Trinity 4495s. E-brush.
I remember the E-brush.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I remember that.
Yeah. We used to sell a shit ton of those, man.
Yeah, because they wear out.
It's just great.
Put new ones in all the time.
Great for Ernie. A lot of money came in. Springs and brushes, man.
Yeah,
sell a ton of those things.
Mm-hmm. And it's not anyone's fault. It's just
Well, that's what it was.
That was racing.
That's what it was.
That was racing.
Yep, absolutely.
If you wanted to race and you wanted to work on your stuff, then
it was kind of fun work trying to get the most out of your motor.
Well, the guys still. That's still the thing. You still have motor guys, and like Ron Scher from Sure Speed and Hobby Wing.
Yeah, what do they do now?
They probably had. Dude, I don't know. but I know it's important.
There's no brushes. I don't know. What do they do? I know they go in there.
Know.
Guys like Dieter, they know what to do. They still mess around with them. Yep.
Yeah, and they get them better.
It's amazing.
So, I know, it really is. So at the end of the weekend, they ran one single main, and it was kind of good in a way. Like Dakota won 2-wheel, Spencer won 4-wheel, and Dustin Evans won truck, which was a nice, I don't know how you want to really say it, but, it was a well-balanced results. Well-balanced. So that race went well. Enjoyed it for sure. Be ready for next year. We gave out the orange parts trays to the first entry for each guy. So we gave out about 150 of the orange parts trays, which were special for that event.
Yep.
And Kirby's here?
What's happening?
Kirby! What's up, buddy?
Friday, man. It's the weekend.
No softball game tonight?
Not tonight, but...
It was yesterday, right? You had one last night.
Or Wednesday
night,
two Wednesday evening.
Yeah, you guys, you split 1-1, right?
Yeah, 1-1. That's the 35-plus league.
Oh, wow.
Adam Drake in there with you?
He wishes. It was actually pretty fun. The team we lost to in the bottom of the last inning is the best team in that bracket. There's actually 8 teams in it, which is kind of cool. And we lost it. I mean, we had them. We were up by 4 and shit the bed.
Oh. Well, what are you going to do? It wasn't because of you, though.
Do you have any errors?
No. Oh, wait.
Well, not Kirby.
Yeah, I might have had one.
What?
Uh-oh. That was the winning run.
No, it wasn't. That was early in the game.
Oh, man.
And then I got a message today during work asking if I could play 2 games tomorrow at noon in Harrisburg.
Oh.
In a league I don't currently play.
Wow,
So,
you're getting recruited. You're getting like a hired gun
Get
out
drafted.
there.
Yeah. Contract killer. So
Damn.
I'm gonna go play tomorrow.
Are you?
Yeah, because I looked at the weather. We have every Sunday we have 2 games, and I looked at the weather. Sunday it looks like it's gonna rain for sure. So my thought process was, well, I want to play, so I'll play these 2 games in Harrisburg.
Right.
Because highly likely that Sunday will get rained out. But if it doesn't, I'll just play 2 more.
Nice.
So.
What a beast.
You're gonna be tired. So yeah, what's happening?
You have to get back home Sunday night in time for Backlash. So.
Ooh. Oh yeah, it's I think our games are scheduled for like 1 and 2.
Oh,
So
you got plenty of time then.
not a problem.
Yeah, see that? You can
Not a
spend the
problem.
night relaxing, watching some
Yeah, man.
WWE.
WWE.
Is
Draft
NWO going to be in there? That's all I know about right now.
I know.
Have you been brushing up on your NWO history?
Yeah, I'm getting up to speed.
It was. I'm gonna say it was my favorite point in wrestling history.
Mm-hmm.
When you go back and watch the when Paul and Nash, Diesel and Razor Ramon, when they showed up, I don't know what WCW pay-per-view that was. Was that? What was that, Gotti? Like, was it some summer event or some
According
crap?
to the stuff I was watching, they were going. I'll turn into the expert here for a second. Razor Ramon shows up at a regular match and comes out of the crowd and wearing his, like, he kind of had the full denim program rocking.
Big fan.
The cut off denim jacket,
Right.
with the front open, with the jeans on, and he comes into the ring and basically declares war on the whole thing.
Yeah, but
He says he has a surprise.
But what? Fast forward to the event where Hogan came out.
The Bash.
Bash at the Beach. So
Look at that, Jason.
I'm
an expert, dude.
You are.
Hall and Nash took the ring. Who was it? Savage that was,
Beat him up.
It looked like he was, Hall and Nash were going to go beat him up, and then, Hogan comes out, crowd goes crazy. Hogan in his, classic red and yellow, he's really selling it coming out, pumped up. Gets into the ring and just, like, they all just combine up beating Savage. Oh, that was the biggest heel turn because the fans were so enamored with that. I've never seen any other time in wrestling that they littered the ring with garbage, and the fans were so triggered. They were triggered.
And Bischoff said when he walked backstage, he absolutely loved it. I mean, he was just like, "This is awesome." Throwing garbage, he got the reaction that he wanted completely.
You could not get a reaction like that these days. That was just 100% genuine, and it was epic. Poor me, and Gene gets drilled with like sodas and stuff in the ring.
This might not be for podcast, but the podcast I was listening to, what's his name, Bischoff?
Bischoff, yeah, Eric Bischoff. They
asked him what he thought when they threw all the garbage in the ring, and he's like, I had to hide my erection.
Yep, that's it. He loved it.
Because he said he was so excited that they had that reaction.
Absolutely.
It was second to none, man. It was really that amazing. And you can watch it like not to like Niners or Twins level, but when I watch that back, I'm like, dude, I get all pumped up over watching it again. Like it's like it just happened now, Yep. It's just such a cool moment of wrestling archives. So cool. And then the NWO, I mean, they put a hurting. WCW put a hurting on WWE. They really took it to them.
Sure did.
83
weeks in a row.
Crazy.
And Bischoff came this close. Can you see it? This close.
Bischoff was a genius.
From putting
is genius. Putting Vince out
of business for good.
So close.
I love that promo he cut when he came back to WWE as a general manager.
Refresh my memory. I might not have seen it.
I put it in our chat like 1,000 times when he's talking about how he signed Mean
I've
Gene.
watched it.
Yeah.
Oh, when he was like this close? That one?
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
Yeah. I'll post a link for our podcast listeners out there. You can go watch it. And you can watch the when NWO formed. Garbage being thrown everywhere. You can watch that too. YouTube.
So good, man.
WWE Network. I told Jason to get that. Check out the Monday Night Wars.
Oh.
It's all on there. And you can go watch all the stuff on WCW. You can go back to WCW and watch it all again. Episode by episode. Week by week.
Yep,
yeah.
It was awesome. And then you know what? It forced WWE to step their game up, which all wrestling fans were winners at that. In that era.
Competition is good, right, Jason?
Yep.
In any business.
Supposedly.
Jason's like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'd rather just put them all out of business.
But DX was awesome.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, it's a wrestling portion.
Well, we talked about it a lot. I'm sure.
We were already had 25 minutes there.
Okay, so that's what I missed.
Yeah.
All right.
And before you start sending me hate mail, just you can fast forward through all this stuff, okay?
Yeah, if you got one of those, the podcast apps, you can forward by 15 or 30 seconds or whatever it is. It's easy.
Yeah, or speed it up. You could put us on we sound like chipmunks.
Yeah, like 2-speed or whatnot.
Yeah.
1.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason we were talking about Kirby is because I bought that NWO RC monster truck. So I was doing this. I was listening to these podcasts on the NWO, so I knew what the hell the deal was. So if I race this truck, I know what the hell the NWO is.
Yeah, because somebody's gonna come up and say something to you, and you want to be able to respond.
Oh yeah.
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 Yep.
I mean, like, Razor Ramon. Yeah, Razor Ramon came out of the stands, and he was in the ring, and they declared war on the whole thing, and then Nash came out after that, the next episode.
Kirby, I'm putting the Kevin Nash Radio Impound intro at the start of this podcast.
So epic, dude.
Yeah.
So cool.
You know what I didn't realize is
big sexy Kevin Nash.
So if this big sexy Kevin Nash, so that was like what, 96? Is that what it was? 90?
Yeah, 96.
I think it was 96. So when we did that Chicago show, that was like 98.
Yeah.
97,
right.
98.
He was in the height of it.
And you remember when Nash was at the Chicago show?
Sure do. I was right there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he ran the Bowlink Legends. They had a race on the oval track, and he was racing against a few other people. I don't know who they were. One of them, Kirby, was from the Man Cow show.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't him, but it was one of his sidekicks or whatever.
Right, producer or something.
Yeah. And I had a picture. I thought I sent it in our group chat once of Kevin Nash sitting there at the track, holding the radio.
I remember.
What brought him to Chicago?
I think I gave him the radio.
Oh, really?
I think I gave him the radio to drive it. Because there was something about, because that was Scotty Ernst. This was before Scotty was Scotty, and they just hired him to run those little races at Chicago.
Okay.
So it was Scotty had all the little Tamiya Mini Coopers, and then Paul Lemieux was actually just a kid working on the cars for Scotty.
Oh, jeez.
And then they would go around and sign us all up for the race, right? And so it was like me and Scott Hughes, Mark Pavitas, Matt Francis, Joel. If Joel was there, Joel would race. And so then, so in between all that is when they got Kevin Nash to come out there and drive the cars on the track, which is probably the part where you got the photo of him with the car, right?
Yeah. Yep. We all left the Trinity booth to go see him race. So me, Matt Francis.
Yeah, which I'm sure was cool. Like, I mean, but I didn't know.
I think Matt Francis
I knew
was
that
in
he
that
was
race.
a wrestler. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were all racing over there.
You were racing against Kevin Nash?
No, like, because we were fast. He didn't know what he was doing. So it was like, I can't remember exactly what happened, but I almost remember, like, I don't remember if I was, like, right next to him or something.
Yeah.
And
wow.
Somehow or another, it's like I either gave him the radio to start driving or I took it back from him.
Took it back from him. Oh, all right, you're wrecking us enough. Yeah, he did not know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him crashing constantly.
Well, and the other funny part to this story is there was this girl that I met at Chicago that was part of that show.
Right.
Go on.
Go on.
And she told me that she was part of getting Nash to come there.
It was
and I forget what she called him. She called him Nash, but it was like, did she call him Big Nash, or I forget what the hell she called him.
Yeah.
But she said it was $10,000.
Wow. Yeah, and afterwards he signed autographs at the booth.
Yeah.
They had a stage or something set up for him, and he was signing autographs.
Okay, do you know who brought him there? Like, who dropped the $10,000 for him to be there?
Ernie.
The Rosemont Convention Center.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they were announcing it over the speaker system the whole day. Hey, Kevin Nash is going to be here at noon, And
but I don't know if the girl that I was talking to, she must have worked for was it RICTA, who ran the shows?
That's it.
Oh God, that's the.
I
forgot that acronym.
RCHTA or something.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know that she worked for RICTA. I think she worked for the actual
Rosemount.
Yeah, and I think that's who hired him to come there because they wanted traffic, right? So
yeah,
more people they could get to come in, better for them.
Sure.
That's, I guess.
And Kirby, this is Kevin Nash in the height of it all, like in the deep, freaking,
Yeah.
God.
And the wars, the Monday Night Wars.
It was amazing.
You know what I heard? I did hear that.
Guess we better call Cody up. More Cody knows about wrestling.
They had a chance to get Jordan for $5,000 or Nash for $10,000, and they were like, "Let's get Nash. Let's get Big Sexy for $10,000."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're not getting Jordan in there for $10,000.
You weren't going to pull him out of the casino.
That's one hand, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for real.
That's one more hand he could play.
That's one more hand he owes the bookies, dealers.
The mob boss.
Mob boss.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that was good. So, Jason, this all started because Jason bought an NWO truck. So don't blame us for talking about wrestling fans.
Yep.
That
we had to educate Jason.
And then the on-road, you guys actually have some good information.
Can you believe we're in the same building, Jason, at one time back in '98?
I know, it's crazy.
Isn't it crazy how
the fact that we were both there
20 years ago.
Nash was there.
Yeah.
And Nash was there, and I obviously it was a bigger thing for you because you were following this.
I was trying to hide my erection.
I remember the girl, the girl just telling me, "We got Big Nash here," and I'm just like, "Who the hell is this guy?" It's like to me, it was Hulk Hogan or it's the Hulk Hogan or Ultimate Warrior. There was no Google.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was trying to make a joke.
I know. Had to AOL. What did you do back then? Did we search? How did we do it? Yahoo. There might have been Yahoo.
Hell, nothing at the freaking show we didn't. I didn't have a phone at any of that or a computer there.
Jason's just.
I might have had a Motorola.
The only thing he knew about Nash was like, nice jeans, dude.
Yeah, he had the jeans with the long curly hair. And I was just like, at first, I mean, the girl just, Big Nash is coming out and, whatever time, 3 p.m. or whatever it is.
Was this girl
And
good looking or was she like, meh?
And I'm just thinking, whatever, Big Nash. And I'm like, this guy comes out, I'm like, holy shit, this guy is huge.
Wow, he really is big.
Yeah, he walked right past the Trinity booth, too. I was like, holy shit. In person,
like, dude, this guy is huge.
Yeah.
You change those fluorescent tubes?
He was like, give me my 10 grand so I could leave.
Yeah. But he, it's like you wish they'd like cut a promo for you or something for 10 grand,
Oh, hey, Jason, on a different topic. This is actually RC related.
Oh, hooray.
I saw in our chat you sent the video, but I had already seen it on Facebook. Where is Rona Falk racing? Right
Philippines.
Now?
That's the Philippines Masters.
Okay. My question is, did they?
We went over this.
Did they do something to the dirt? Okay.
We talked about this.
There's no way that there's that much rubber laid down.
It's funny though that you don't race anymore, but you were a good racer, so you know when you see something.
Right.
Yeah, they put oil on the track.
Yeah, we were talking about this. Can you imagine them doing it over here? The environmentalists would be going nuts.
Oh God, forget it.
Yeah, over there they put oil on the track. Jason,
and it adds grip.
Well, what it does is it holds all the dust down, so you don't have any dust, and you have good grip, like not like full like sugared track grip like the Carl Slide, but the tires don't wear.
That's cool.
So you can run, the tires a long time.
Oh.
The track stays together. It doesn't dust up.
So
it's actually
does it
really
help it?
nice.
It helps it from like breaking apart and deteriorating.
Yeah.
Huh. That seems like a win-win-win.
Yeah, it really is. That's how they did the track in Thailand too.
That was okay. Was that the crazy track? Like it looked like.
Yeah.
There's
like little fences everywhere.
Yeah.
They built all these tiny, like, foot-tall fences.
Yeah. It was like, okay, build your dream track. And because I even had some friends up at home that they knew I raced and stuff. They tagged me in this video because, like, somehow that video actually, got some traction and kind of went viral. But I just remember that it was a crazy, awesome layout. And the track was black. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah. That's wild. All right.
There you go.
I will have to listen. I will listen back once uploaded.
We did and then we had the on-road Nats over the weekend. So we went over the stock Nats. We had the on-road nationals in Florida with P-Dub, and a couple of our guys went and ran.
Fortunate for them, I couldn't input.
Couldn't attend.
My feelings.
Kirby, I just sent a photo in the group chat. I don't know if you've seen that photo.
I see it.
Yeah, look at that. It's crazy,
That's
isn't it?
nutty.
The oil.
Well, if I would have attended, I would have, quadrupled the entries, correct?
That's true. You're like a big draw like Kevin Nash.
You certainly would have helped.
Yeah.
Oy. Now I can't wait to listen back.
Yeah, you would have. Well, and also the track was nice. It's kind of an 8-scale on-road track.
Mm-hmm. I think I might have seen videos.
Yeah, it's a cool track. It's just big.
I better call Kody.
Give him a ring.
Okay.
Well, you guys can keep talking.
Yeah, so Cavallari won another on-road national.
I saw that. That's just so cool.
I mean, it is awesome that he won, that he's winning these on-road nationals, but I think with all due respect to these other guys racing, he is the best guy running.
Yeah.
And, there's no, all the talent in on-road at the moment is European or Asian.
Right.
Base. So, Cavallari is our best on-road driver in the U.S. right now. I mean, I'm sure if Barry Baker would have raced, he would have been in the top 4 or 3, And he probably hasn't driven a car in 2 years, maybe a year.
Wow.
But, we just don't have a real... I mean, Paul came out of on-road retirement, and he had some good moments. He wasn't quite as fast as he probably wanted to be, but he... Oh, Kody.
Oh. How you guys doing?
Hey, Kody. What's up? We're just talking about the on-road Nats. Jason was talking about that.
Oh, gotcha.
We were talking about wrestling, too, if you want to chime in on wrestling.
I have less to say about the wrestling.
Oh. Well, Jason just bought a monster truck, NWO monster truck. So.
Yeah, fitting for Ruona.
Yeah. All right, Jason, what were you saying about the on-road Nats?
Cody's blown away that Ruona bought a monster truck.
Yeah, shocked.
It actually was shocking when I found out you were into monster trucks, but now, yeah, it's pretty fitting, I guess.
Well, I have to explain myself normally.
I mean, like when I met, it's like this guy has way too many sleeves to like monster trucks.
Yeah, it's weird because I don't know. I always feel like I have to explain myself, but I was obviously into it when I was a kid, and so now it's just and these like the Bigfoot guys and all these, they were really nice to me when I was a kid when I'd go to these events and shows. So now that we do some RC monster truck stuff, it's a kind of fun to kind of I don't know what the right word is. It's kind of a nostalgic look back all the time.
Come full circle.
Yeah. I mean, I never would have got into RC if it wasn't for monster trucks, so I feel like because that's why I got one. I got an RC vehicle because I wanted a monster truck. So you feel like you kind of have that side of it. Anyway, I have to explain. It's not like I sit at home, watching Monster Jam on TV.
Oh, wait, day. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I think you do.
Yeah. If I watch anything, I watch old stuff from the 90s on YouTube. That's what I do.
Yeah. I watch RC monster trucks.
Yeah, you got Jesus' videos.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Those are funny. You need to, you know what? You need to share that with everybody on the podcast because
our chat is littered with these videos.
It's funny.
Yeah, it's good.
Kody doesn't know about Jesus' videos.
Yeah, I'll just watch our Facebook page. I'll link the videos in there.
Yeah, just tag me in it.
Yeah, there we
go. You're gonna regret that.
Yeah.
Well, just one.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah. All right. Well.
It is entertaining.
Kody Numedahl, everybody.
So, Kody, we talked a little bit earlier about the race you just went to. You came out of a little bit of retirement. You ran some carpet. How'd the race go up there in Oregon?
It was a good race. I mean, I haven't been to that place before, but they have the same carpet as like the couple of tracks we got around here. So, yeah, it was fun. I mean, they had a new carpet and good turnout and a good like race program. So yeah, everything was good. It was one of those like regional sized races. You get out of there at good time and hang out with the guys. And it was nice. It was a good change of pace.
Spencer said you guys were just trash talking the whole time, everybody with each other.
Yeah, it's like the perfect size race where you can like talk shit even when things aren't going good.
Oh.
And nobody gets like mad. And no one's like their careers aren't on the line. So
Yeah.
you can kind of get away with a little bit more. It's like those are my favorite size races to go to these days, just because nobody's quite as serious. Like, everyone wants to do good, but they're not like going nuts when it's not going well.
You're not on kill.
No, there's no kill mode.
So we spent some time at the stock mats. I know you got to take in some mains. How did you? What'd you think of that? What'd you think of that event?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. It kind of gets bigger every year. I've ran it quite a few times. Yeah, it's a good event. I mean, this year it's like there's more and more factory guys each year. I mean, like, you've had Cavallari run that race a couple times, and Spencer's ran it before, but this is like the first time I think there's been like multiple people on that level running it. And it was cool. I mean, those guys kind of showed that even in stock, you can't really beat them. So that was good, I guess. I mean, it was like, I think everyone expects that in stock. Maybe they can run with them, but the layout was tough this year, so those guys were a decent amount faster than the rest of the field between, Dustin, Spencer, and Dakota there. So, yeah, it was good to see. I mean, it's more fun to watch than to drive, I think, because like those guys, I think they were expecting them to be faster than they are, because when you watch them, they look pretty fast. And then when you drive them after running mod, they don't have that same just, good power. It's like you always feel like you're just driving down the track full throttle everywhere. But I'm sure they were kind of freaking out in practice. But once the racing started, it was kind of down to those three. You had like Jackie and Frank were pretty close, but just not quite.
Yeah, I mean, there was kind of a level of drivers, and then it dropped off a little bit, which you can expect. I mean, the top three guys are true pros, so. But yeah, I mean, there was times where even those guys were, you could tell they're fast for a reason, like we talked about. Even over a really good stock racer, there were times they were a half second, 0.7 faster per lap than a really good stock racer.
Yeah, I mean, this layout for sure rated everyone even more than it probably normally would have been. But yeah, I mean, you watch like, Jake Thayer out there run some laps, and he's a really fast guy and runs stock quite a bit. And it's like, how do you go faster than that? And then those guys get out there and just a little bit here, a little bit there. They're doing a half second a lap, probably faster. But yeah, I mean, Jake actually ended up getting third in four-wheel drive, I think. His stuff was pretty good for 10 minutes.
Yeah, he did.
And Dakota
had a rough start.
Drive. Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of crashed out on the first lap and then just could never come all the way back.
Yeah, I mean, those guys were all about the same speed, so whoever was wrecking was kind of SOL. I'm sure he probably could have came back and got third, but none of those three guys were thinking, oh, yeah, I'm just going to try to go back and get third. They're like out there trying to win no matter what, so that equals either winning or blowing out even worse.
Yeah, you lots of times you take a bad start or a bad situation and you make it worse. When winning is only on your mind, sometimes you take a bad start and you make it worse. Sometimes it's the way it goes.
Yeah, I mean, that happened with those guys a lot. It's like, those guys are expected to be up there. They're at like a big race and shit's not going well, and all of a sudden they're 10th and, getting beat by the guys in 7th and whatever that they shouldn't be getting beat by, but it's because they're not out there trying to just finish the best they can. They're like out there trying to win.
So. And then we talked a little bit about the on-road nationals. Did you take in a little bit of that?
I watched it. The coverage wasn't super great. I don't know. It's just like it was one camera. It's kind of hard to see, like watch. You just kind of had to see scoring. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know. The carpet nat seems to be bigger than the asphalt nationals. It was kind of I don't know if it was disappointing or if that's just kind of how it's been the last few years. I forget, but There's not a lot of people there. But yeah, I mean, Cavalieri winning again. I don't know. It's just kind of weird that like there's not a bigger crowd in the on-road scene, because overseas it seems to be like a popular thing still.
Yeah.
So I mean, the track was cool. There's nothing wrong with the track.
Yeah, it was a cool track.
Did you stop by at all, or you just watch online?
No, I just watched online.
Oh yeah, never mind. You're at the same way as Stockman.
Yeah, we were at the same race.
No, I was thinking they were different weekends. Yeah. Yeah, it was cool to see Paul and them out there. Looks like you guys got a couple new goodies for that. So.
Yeah, I mean, we made one body so far, and we haven't made there's two. There's Proform and Montec probably have the two most popular on-road bodies at the moment. And the Montec was the first one to come out. It's kind of what me and Paul talk about as being the cheater type bodies. Somehow or another, they're legal. And then Protoform basically had to make the same style body. So, they both kind of have the cheater style body, and we haven't made that style yet, which we obviously need to. But our guys
big difference?
still. Well, basically the nose of the body. We a couple of years ago, and what was popular was the big chin spoilers and sort of a muscular look in the front around the the headlights and the grille, and the nose was a little longer, and now they just pretty much have all that stuff completely gone. It's just a super sloped nose, and the roof or the cab, whatever you want to call it, the bonnet, whatever they call it in whatever country, but especially the nose, from the very front edge all the way to the middle of the front wheel well has just, it's like you just took and you just
like a
squished the whole thing back. Yeah. And so it's a dramatic difference. And, but still, Paul and AJ and some guys ran our standard body out there and were competitive. But, we need to, have our next, we only have one, so we need to have our cheater body soon. And I think we'll be okay. I mean, we've proven that we can get out there, make a body, and be relatively competitive. And Paul's won some state races, but it's not something that we're known for, obviously, but it's something we'd like to have. And guys that race for us mainly for off-road, if they dabble in touring car, it'd be nice if they had products to use. So
yeah, I feel like the name, the word cheater needs to be in the name of the body.
We should, yeah. Cheater 1.
Like a cheetah. Hey, Jason, may I suggest just, with a few changes so it's not exactly the same, just redo the Andes Dodge Stratus.
That was the original body you couldn't beat.
Yeah. That was the body too. If you didn't have that, you ain't winning. Period.
Is this like an
Andes Stratus?
It's a Dodge Stratus.
1998,
yeah,
1999.
Yep.
Maybe even a little bit before that. The Andes Dodge Stratus. That was it.
The street weapon era. Yep.
Yep. The Andes Stratus.
That was the cheater body.
Yeah.
That was the cheater body. Like Protoform made. Oh man, they made Mondeos.
Alfa
whatever
Romeos.
Alfa Romeo. They made.
I remember
BMW.
Mazda MX-6. They had so many different ones.
They had so many different bodies. They were really nice. Was there a Contour? No. In America, it was called a Contour, and then they called it the Mondeo.
Yeah, right.
But they looked way better. The Protoform ones were nicer.
Yeah.
The decal sheets were better, but just the hot guys were using that Stratus, and you know how that is, Kody.
When you think performance and speed, Dodge Stratus comes to mind. It was crazy, but
that was the funny part.
Yeah, that was the we're really running a Dodge Stratus body.
So this is like the J Concepts high flow short course body. You just can't get away from it.
Yeah, the 12-time, or is it 13 now, national champion body.
Jeez.
I wouldn't count. I would just say 3.
I mean, that body alone's got as many titles as Mayfield.
Ooh. Ooh. Don't tell him that.
Probably half of them are his, huh?
Well, they are. And the other half are Pudge.
I know, it's like you should never even waste your time making another short course body, because no matter what you do, those guys aren't going to run it.
Yeah, we had that one body at a race. And
forget it.
Fun stuff.
Yep, it was like the high flow 2 showed up. Mayfield had one, Cavalier didn't. Cavalier beat Mayfield. That was the end of it. You were like, 3 runs into a body, and it was just over.
Like, well, poor high flow 2.
Never stood a chance.
That's why Andy's never released a Dodge Stratus 2.
Yeah,
I think he tried.
Up with something to make at the same time. So it's like you come out with the body and some other short course accessory that makes it handle better. So it's guaranteed to work better, and they think it's the body.
You gotta combo it.
Yeah,
combo punch.
Like that. It's true. That's the original. That's pretty much the original body, not the very first one, but the original one when racing got big.
Yeah, we ran that in 2011 at the Roar Nats when the short course was at its highest point, and it's been hard to beat since then.
Yeah, I think it even got a win on the old 4-wheel drive associated short course.
It did, yeah, when you were kicking butt with that thing.
No, I didn't win. That was Mayfield.
Well, you won a couple races with yours, too.
I did. I had to take some people out, though.
It happens.
We don't talk about that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Heel turn.
Yeah.
It was brutal. Small track 4-wheel short course. You gotta do what you gotta do.
We gotta get Kirby to pull up the questions. He's the expert question reader.
Ooh.
Yeah, pull him up, Kirby.
All right. I was literally just Googling on my phone Annie's Dodge Stratus body.
Oh, go ahead.
What's weird is I don't know, it didn't have any results what I was looking for.
Before we get into the questions, I got a question for Gotti.
No.
What's with the name change?
Oh.
Oh no.
There's got to be a.
Well, we can't mention any names.
Suddenly pops up different.
We cannot mention any names. I don't even know how do I say this, Jason. Jason's good at this stuff. It has something to do. Yeah, I don't. It's hard to explain, but somebody reported my name as a nickname, and you can't have nicknames on Facebook anymore unless you're a transgender, and I haven't fully explored that option yet. So, but I was I was able to prove that I used the nickname. I was able to prove all that, and so they reinstated me. And this same person or persons that kind of align themselves with this person reported me again when they saw me online. So Facebook has this thing where it's kind of like just automated. So when somebody reports your name, they automatically come back to you and say, okay, now you need to prove that you use this name every day. And I just did all that, and I emailed them all the info that they wanted, and I just did not want to go through all that again because it took forever. And so I just went with my name and put the Gotti Jr. as my nickname in parentheses there.
I gotcha. All right, well, that's good to know. I won't make a nickname ever as my name on Facebook.
Right. Well, I mean, you could probably do it, but if somebody reports it, then...
No, lots of people hate it. It would definitely not work.
Yeah, and same thing. I have a lot of people that hate me, too. I can't really prove who it was, but I know exactly when it happened and why it happened, and so I could, guess who it was, or one of the person's friends. Yeah. So,
Allegedly.
Well,
yeah.
You're back. Doesn't matter.
I mean, I probably could go through the whole process again and prove that, hey, I use this nickname and stuff like that, and get it back.
You could just prove that you're transgender.
But yeah, transgender. You're allowed
That's
to
easy.
see the transgenders were upset that they couldn't use nicknames because they don't want their real name out there. Not every one of them, but most of them don't want their real name out there, and so they had a lawsuit against Facebook because they want to be allowed to use nicknames.
Jesus.
And because Facebook banned nicknames and they didn't like that, so they brought a lawsuit on them.
Well, I'm glad that you told us the story about you having a nickname page before you told us about knowing all this transgender nickname stuff, because otherwise I'd be questioning this entire phone call.
Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah.
Gotti, couldn't you just prove to them that you use that nickname? You just have a screenshot of the old school Trinity Tech Talk forum.
That too.
Be like,
Yeah.
here I am.
Yeah.
This is 98. It's
Yeah.
me, Gotti Jr.
Ernie gave me the nickname. So.
Is Tech Talk still around? Is that a thing?
God, I wish it was. I wish it was.
Gotti the moderator with the band hammer.
Oh. I had to stay up all night because if I because the West Coast guys would start posting stuff at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and if I didn't get up before Ernie got up and he saw that,
Oh my god.
then Ernie was on my case for not staying up all night monitoring Tech Talk.
Wait, the moderators? That's like a real job. That's not just something you do for fun.
No, it was part of my job description at the time. Like, he's like, Gotti, I need you to sit there and watch Tech Talk, make sure nobody posts anything bad. And then the one morning I wake up and I got messages from Ernie on AOL Instant Messenger saying, Gotti, what the hell? There's stuff on there. And I look at it and it's 3 a.m. I said, Ernie, this is on the West Coast, these guys. I can't stay up all night.
Yeah, me, when I got on Tech Talk back then, it must have been like after your days, because it was like, I think it was only bad stuff on that. There wasn't really anything RC related on that.
Well, if it was after 2003, then yeah, it was. I wasn't there.
Yeah, it was after 03.
It was after Gotti's reign.
Yeah. I was great on it though. I mean, I gave it my best, but there was times those guys slipped through and man, I heard about it if Ernie woke up before I did.
If you didn't catch it by the time Ernie logged on.
Ernie or Tony P, either one. Tony P would, they would get on me for not banning these guys. So if you got banned on Tech Talk, it was probably from me. There was other monitors too, but man, I really was on it. Hey Kirby, you had the power to ban too, right? Didn't you?
God, I don't.
I'm sure you did because you had.
I rarely went on there.
Well,
Complete opposite of today.
Yeah.
It's barely on the internet.
Okay.
Barely.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. I remember we had web TV at the apartment. Like, oh, this is so awesome. Web TV rules.
That's right, we did.
Yeah.
Why did we use our Mike's computer then? Because it was just better, I guess, right?
Yeah, it was just faster or something.
Yeah.
I don't
Was that a 256?
What?
56K modem, you mean?
56K dial-up?
Anyway, RC. Can I edit all this
RC.
out? Because I really don't.
No.
Okay,
No, people need to know the history.
Well, not even that, but my whole nickname thing. Jeez,
Oh,
so boring.
people need to know the history. All right. I have.
Well,
the
no,
questions.
I mean, now everyone will add you again. Nobody knew where you went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. I just was like, you know what? Screw these
God,
RC
he's like-
clowns.
Gotti's like, no. Now I definitely want it removed from this podcast.
Yeah.
I don't want those friend requests.
Yeah. I just didn't trust anybody in RC after that. I was like, I'm done.
Yeah. Hey.
So I
Can't
just
blame
kept
you.
I just kept it to like close friends. Like
There you go.
like Jason and Kirby.
Yeah.
But yeah, I tried adding you back on, Kody, and it was like, oh, too many people. He already has 5,000 friends. I'm like, gee.
No, I don't. I weeded that out a long time ago. But I think there's probably there's probably a bunch of requests. I just don't go through it ever. So
Right.
no, I don't have people on there anymore. It's nice.
Ah, cool.
There's probably like some people that'll be listening. They're like mad about that. But
Oh well.
I have my other page. I don't like my regular page being too full because it's just there's too much stuff. I don't even know what's going on. So
Yeah.
I kind of did the same thing you did, or just like people I know more personally, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, I'm down to 100 friends, I think.
The purge.
I purged.
Purge.
Jason knows I was mad. All right, Kirby, you pull those questions up?
Yeah, I got him staring at him right here.
All right, we'll have to keep the one. I don't know how we're gonna answer that. Jason can figure that out.
What? Oh, okay. I don't know what that means, but all right. This is from Almond McLean, and I asked him if he saw that Snickers commercial. Almond.
Yeah.
You know,
Saw that.
almond. You like almonds? All right. AE question. Wait, what is? Okay. AE question. What's my chances of getting more old school style bodies coming to the B6.1? In parentheses, J Concepts Illusion B6, for example. That's technically a J
That's actually a
Concepts
perfect
question.
question. It's not really for me. Yeah, it's for Jason.
Yeah.
That's even easier.
I could probably answer that. 0.0.
The chances are very low.
That's silly. Almond. Come on now.
No poll on the old on the last one you did.
No, it has done okay, but I don't know that it justifies a second. You know.
But that wasn't
Not so
that old school. That was like, I mean, that was like a racing body for a B4. I mean, maybe he means like, you know, RC10 body.
Yeah, I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I don't see it happening there. Yeah, there's not a lot of people out there that are just trying to look good only.
Right.
Everyone wants to go fast.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm going to run that body for a run. Oh, that was cool. It was nostalgic. Okay, now I want to go fast.
Well, that's kind
there's
of
only
what happened.
times it can be left. Makes it fun.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, we kind of covered it with that one body, and I wish we could do multiple ones, but it's not that popular, and that's the reality. So, you know, like, you know, obviously Kody would probably say the same thing about, you know, there's going to be some other questions, I'm sure, very similar, but, you know, not only, you know, all these projects we do and everybody, there's a certain amount of risk that goes into it. For the amount of time and money you put into it for what you get out of it. And then so not only do you have that, but then on top of that, you have something that you weren't working on because you were working on that, which is probably actually the most valuable. So it's the opportunity of that, or the cost of the opportunity that you had there. That's really expensive.
It's like asking Kody, hey, you guys going to do an RC10 dual sport again? Probably not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not going to happen.
I mean, I'm sure it's the same for you guys, but there's a few projects that are just guaranteed always going to be your best sellers, and the rest of the stuff you do it just to kind of complete the line. But I mean, I'm sure you have the same thing. There's certain products you make that are far and away your biggest sellers that kind of pay for almost everything else to be available.
Yeah, there's no question that, you know, there's the hot items that you have to have, and they, you know, they're kind of your heritage products and stuff that you've always had success with, and you have to have that stuff. And other things are, you know, in addition to that. You know, obviously, if you had unlimited money, unlimited resources, you would make everything you possibly thought you could sell. But when you have a limit to one of the other, or to one of those things, then you have to prioritize it. And, you know, we kind of allow ourselves to do a few passion projects per year for those type of things, you know, just because of me. Like, I'll say, hey, I want to do this because I just want to.
Monster truck bodies.
Oh, hold on. I got too far away from my phone.
Pizza's here.
Oh, sorry. I was too far away from my phone. You guys still there?
Yeah.
We got you.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
Okay. Yeah, so next question.
Okay, now he has a couple questions for Rip podcast questions, all right?
Oh.
And this one I'm out to lunch on this. I don't even know what he's talking about. Are you getting used to the sad music that plays in the pro line "Come Race With Us" videos whenever J Concepts wins? Hashtag Roarnats, hashtag Worlds 2016s, hashtag Surf City.
I don't even know what that
I don't
means.
know what he's talking about.
I don't watch pro line.
I'm not. Yeah, I know what he's talking about.
Are you getting used to
that? There's you know, they have a "Come Drive With Me" is videos that the guy does from Canada. He comes down and he. I think Proline's one of their major sponsors of doing the videos, and he's the guy that does some amazing. He has some amazing YouTube videos about some of these races. I mean, he does days and days of footage, and you know, Kody's seen him and spoke to him. He never talks to me because the videos are, you know, sponsored by Proline, so he's never going to talk to me. But he talks to our drivers if they run well, and I'm sure Kody's talked to him. And his name is Corey, and Mike Garrison usually is the voiceover for all the videos.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Friend of the show, Mike Garrison.
They are pretty good. I mean, they're definitely some of like the more professional quality stuff in our industry.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think what he's referring to in the post was, you know, of course, you know, and everyone has this situation. Anytime you're covering an event, you don't control the results unless you're wrestling, right?
Oh, hey.
Or monster trucks.
Or monster trucks. Maybe it's predetermined. But, you know, you go there with the mindset that you hope to win. But if you're covering it and you're doing any video or photos, there's always the chance that you don't win, and you got to cover it anyway.
Okay.
So that's the position that he's in. Is, you know, he goes and he's got support in the industry, and he's got to cover it regardless whether his supporters are the winning or not. So I think what the question is referring to is when, you know, not only us, I mean, AKA or whoever wins, he has to interview those guys and how was it, and, you know, and that, you know, they have to say something, and they see their sponsors. So the guys, you know, what he's referencing isn't these video, you know, these ones where Mayfield or somebody wins, and you know, he puts this great video together. He has a primary sponsors, and his primary sponsors aren't winning.
Oh, okay. And they play sad music?
Well, I don't know that they're sad.
Celine Dion?
I don't know. I don't get the question, but okay.
Yeah.
All right, number 2, Jason or Kirby.
Okay, yeah. What's the best junk mail / advertising you ever got?
This could be for everybody. I don't even know. Oh, well, I actually do know. But good.
So go ahead, Gotti.
Probably like triple X advertising.
Transgenders.
Like you ever go to a friend's house and dial the 1-900 numbers just for the hell of it? Well, back in the day when you did that, supposedly, I guess they knew where the call was coming from, so the house would get flooded with these triple X 1-900 postcards.
Oh my God!
So,
Really?
Yeah. So we used to just do that to.
Oh, if I would have
friends and
known
stuff.
that back then.
Yeah, it was really good. So probably that. That was the best. That was fun to do. You go over to your friend's house and you hurry up and dial 1-900 number, and you know.
Set them up for failure.
Yeah. Well, I think what you did is you dialed 1-800 first, right? You dialed 1-800. You could think of any name and dial it. You know. We used to do this at Trinity, the Mike Wood all the time. I would dial the 1-800 number.
Oh, Mike.
Okay, and the girl would and the girl would start talking, right? The girl would be like, "Hey, baby, you dialed," and I would put it on hold, and I'd say, "Hey, Mike, you got to call on line 1," and he picked up line 1, and this girl's like, "Yeah, I wanna."
Yeah. Oh my God, I forgot about that, dude. And Mike Wood is like the nicest guy ever. Like, just smile on his face all day.
Yeah.
And Gotti's patching these, like, automated. So.
I'd be like, "Hey, Mike, you got a tech call on line 1." And then you pick it up, and the girl would be like, "Oh, baby." I can't even.
There you go, Kody. You got some ammo now for Monday when you go back to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's is that still, are those things still around?
Yeah, I don't know.
Thing?
That's a good question.
Sure.
I guess we could find out by dialing
One
them
way
up,
to
but
I couldn't imagine that's still a thing.
Put them on the other line. Just put them on the podcast.
it worked great, man. It was awesome. So yeah, you dial 1-800, and then that number would tell you to dial 1-900.
Oh,
And
okay.
but if you did that, I guess it knew where the call was coming from because hell, my buddies would get all this stuff in the mail and they'd be like, "Oh, thanks a lot. My mom got the freaking triple X postcard."
Get
And
grounded.
yeah, it's like
Grounded because of Gotti.
yeah, it was fun. But yeah,
That's great.
I love those days at Trinity, man. Tech call line
yes.
1, Mike. Oh,
Oh,
baby,
brutal.
I'm so hot and wet. All right.
Gotti trolling for decades.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a long time. Okay, number 3.
All right. What?
What's
How's this?
We didn't even. Nobody else even answered the question.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know if you guys wanted to.
It was
All right,
just-
Jason, go ahead.
I mean, if you want to answer,
How was he
let's
saying?
start at top.
Do you guys have one? How you gonna top mine?
I can't think of an ad, but I just the weirdest thing lately is I swear there's been a couple times lately where I'll just mention like a product or just talking to my girlfriend, just mention anything.
Yeah.
And there'll be an ad about it on Facebook, but I never typed it on my phone. I never searched
Yep.
it or Googled it. Like, for sure someone's listening.
Absolutely.
Like they know what you're thinking.
No, they are absolutely. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and there's actually been a couple times where I haven't even said it, but I've like just thought of like, you know, something I want to buy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
No searching, no talking, and I swear to God there's an ad.
All right, that's scary.
And I'm like, maybe it's related to something else that I was like searching, so maybe it's like items or whatever, but it's really weird. I've like noticed it, and then now
That's
that I've
creepy.
noticed it, I notice it more.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They're watching us.
Well,
Yeah.
they are.
Don't doubt that.
Imagine what my Facebook's going to look like after all these searches I've been doing on the NWO,
Oh man.
trying to get up to speed.
Yeah.
all the merch offerings you're gonna have,
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna buy all kinds of T-shirts.
dude. Awesome. That's gonna be sick.
Well, what about Gotti after researching when you can have a nickname or not?
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Well, they sent me. Yeah, I didn't research it. They just sent me the info on it and said, "Hey, you can't have a nickname unless you, transgender." All right. Oh,
All right.
you know what, Kody? On that, I would sit there with my girlfriend and be like, "Hey, what do you, what's for dinner tonight?" And Domino's would come through and say something like, "We're here for you. Order 2 or more." It's like they're definitely listening, man. Through the microphone.
Well, when you order Domino's every day, I mean,
Well, that's true. I love the app.
not a lot of guessing.
That's true. I love the app, and you can watch it being
It is a great app.
It is an awesome app. And now they just introduced, yesterday I got an update on the phone from my Domino's app, and they just introduced hotspots. So it's GPS-based location, so it knows where you're at, and it has hotspots around. So you can have a pizza delivered to a park or whatever. You don't need an actual address. You can, you know what I mean? You can have a freaking pizza delivered to this park bench that's famous, or whatever. I don't know, but it's cool.
So when you're out
at the track,
when you're out on a secret date at a park bench somewhere.
Yeah,
you could order a pizza.
You can look at all the hotspots in your area, pick one, go there. Yeah, you're out on a rendezvous or something. You can plan it for at this park and get a pizza delivered. It's interesting. Check it out.
Good to know.
You have the Domino's app, right? You guys, all you?
I don't.
All right.
I only got it. I got it just because you said I needed to have it.
Right. So, good man. So just check it out, Jason. Make sure it's updated. And there you go.
I don't have a Domino's near me, so I do not have it.
All right.
Well, now you can get one at a park.
Oh, yeah.
There might not be any hotspots in Tower City. There's only like 10 people there. But okay.
Ouch. But you know what? The Taco Bell they have an app, and they're trying to sell it. People download it, blah blah blah. One of the benefits is you can go in there, you order it, ahead of time, and when you do that, you get a free Doritos Locos Taco.
Wow.
Which I'm like, that's kind of cool. Like that actually made me think about downloading it.
Right.
So they almost had me.
Important.
I like it.
So.
All right, number 3,
Number 3, another great question. How's the sports ball going?
We touched on this already. Next, 4.
What's sports ball?
It's Kirby's softball.
Yeah.
Or football, or us talking about sports, probably.
Any kind of ball. Yeah, it's a joke on that. Yeah.
This number 4, the number 4 question is for Jason because he went and saw Ready Player One.
Oh, good point.
Okay.
He says, what you think of the Bigfoot in Ready Player One movie?
I mean, do you want a serious answer or
just not too long?
No. I mean, to me, I had no idea what I was getting into going to see this movie. But apparently, it's a Steven Spielberg movie.
Mm-hmm.
And
video game related.
Video game related, and it's really a cool movie. I mean, I only went and saw it honestly because their Bigfoot was going to be in it, but it's a computer. It's a computer generated Bigfoot.
Okay. CGI.
That one of the characters in the movie. It gets kind of crazy explaining all this, but
yeah, don't.
One of the people in the movie was a 80s and 90s, fan of the 80s and 90s pop culture. And in the movie, there's constantly things that were popular in pop culture in the 90s, in the 80s.
References and stuff, yeah.
References. So the DeLorean from Back to the Future's in the movie, and
right.
music from those days, and so many things from that. So that's why Bigfoot's in it, because one of the characters in the movie, in one of the races, one of the friends drives the DeLorean. He drives the Bigfoot. So that's why Bigfoot was in the movie. From a technical standpoint, the truck didn't look anything like a real Bigfoot.
Oh.
But because, it's like they had the wrong body style for the wrong paint job. There was no roof on it.
Oh, here we go.
You know what I mean? Like, so from a technical standpoint, it wasn't super accurate.
Probably staying away from copyright infringements.
No, they actually got permission. I talked to the guys.
Oh, really?
They got full permission to use, because in the movie it's huge. It says Bigfoot right on the door, and it has their logos on it, and so it's like the real deal. I mean, for them, it's probably a big
draw. Sure.
Well, it's a big thing, you know. Obviously, you're in a Steven Spielberg movie. I mean, definitely
Say no
nothing
more.
to sneeze at. So, what was interesting, you know, the stuff that I think about is, you know, you look at the truck in the movie and you're like, well, they got some of their sponsors on it. So they got Firestone on there. They got Summit. You know, some of their longtime sponsors are also on the truck.
James.
So, you know, and it's a big deal to have the legitimate logos on something in a movie like that where you're basically advertising, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but anyway, it was a cool movie. I didn't know anything about what was going to happen. And, I mean, I've heard kids like, you know, Damon's age and kids that are like 16, 17, 18, they think it's like the best movie they've ever seen.
No. Wow.
And I'm like, I don't know, the whole thing, like most of it's computer generated. I'm like,
Never saw Boondock Saints.
I'm like just looking around like, is this over yet? But no, I mean, it
Jason's
actually
like,
is.
all right, Allison, Bigfoot's gone, we're out.
Yeah. I mean, and all that happens, what's funny is all that happens in like the first 10 minutes. So
Oh,
it's like,
man, that's brutal.
I'm just thinking, is this the last scene? Like, well, I'm done.
Great book.
But no, it is a good movie. It really is. I mean, I kind of got into what was going on, and there's a lot of thinking going on in this plot, what they had going on. And it's definitely recommended to go see it.
No, I look forward to fast forwarding through it.
Yes,
Yeah, you're good at that.
Yeah. All right. Next question. What's next?
That takes care of.
How about something for Kody?
Well, Gotti Jr. asked a dumb question. We'll just skip it.
Yep.
And then Sturgill posts a picture, says, "Please explain who is this for?" And I believe it's Kody driving a boat with flipping the bird. Somebody.
Yeah, that goes around frequently now. That's like the standard. Rob Sturgill loves that picture.
That's
It's like
Yeah.
anywhere I post anything, that picture shows up.
Leave it to Sturgill.
Yep, he's internet guy.
Let's see here. We'll come back to Chili Duncan's maybe. Okay, Kurt Wanger asks, what thing are people obsessed about that you think doesn't really matter in RC? And also the opposite. What's the most important thing people overlook?
Well, the overlook's easy. It's tires.
Really?
I mean, I think people pay attention to it, but I don't think they give it enough credit. I mean, I'd say, especially dirt racing. I mean, the carpet racing is a little bit less fire game because usually it's hand out. You just run them. But on the dirt, it's like if somebody comes over and there's a serious problem, it's usually the tires aren't quite broken in enough or something like that. So, I mean, I'd still say that's the most overlooked, even though people are clued into it.
Wow.
Right.
The thing people obsess too much. Oof. I don't know. A lot of things. It's funny though, because like the thing people obsess about too much, it's like I can say it and I probably do it as well. Like, and it happens in stock racing. It's the power. All those guys this last weekend at the stock nats, it was like the whole time in practice, it was like power, 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 power. And that didn't matter at all in the end. Like, I'd say Dakota had just a mediocre power situation. And, I mean, it was just like, and he ended up winning. It's just, they were almost worried too much about that versus just driving like they normally do. I'd say those guys almost had more mistakes running stock than they do running mod. Just because their focus wasn't there on the driving. They were too worried about if their car was fast enough.
Good point.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that, similar thing.
I mean, there were people there that had more power than the guys that were maybe up front, but I mean, it's like they're out there watching these guys. Like, they'll watch some car hit the triple, and they're like, oh man, we're screwed, and it's like they don't even look at the lap. They're like a second a lap faster than whoever it was. So it was pretty funny. It's just they're not used to doing it. So, but I think a lot of that's like everyone's out there worried about a tiny bit of steering or power or whatever they're looking for, and I have 2 marshals in a run, so it doesn't really matter.
Good point. Tim Merzen says, I think I might have heard your name on an old podcast today. Were you involved with the B4? And then Adam Rails replies real quick, yep, it was basically his car.
Well, I didn't do the B4. That was like before I was even involved. But yeah, I've done like a bunch of the different 10-scale electric cars since the B4. I started working there when big bores were kind of coming out for the associated stuff. So the B4 had been out for a long time before that. So I was probably there when they did the Cavalieri Worlds car. It's like after he won the 2011 Worlds. But no, the B4 was I'm not sure exactly who designed it. Maybe either Torrance de Guzman or Kurt Wenger. One of those guys, or maybe both of them.
Yeah, what I remember. Are we still there?
Yeah, I was saying you probably know.
Oh, what I remember is what I thought was, Kurt kind of came up with, the basic design where the locations and the, everything was set of, the critical, and then Torrance actually did the modeling of the production car.
Oh, now that I read the replies to this question, it was Kurt Wenger that he originally asked the question, and then they commented saying Adam Rails said, yep, it was basically his car, referring to Kurt Wenger. Okay. I was a little confused.
I was going to say Adam should.
Well,
All right.
Did we lose
now we're
Cody?
straight.
Cody still there?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. I thought we lost
Can you
you.
hear me?
Sounds like we drop you sometimes, but
No.
I guess you're still here.
So next question.
Next question. Stefan, or is it Steven? I'm not even going to take a chance at that last name.
Yeah, forget it.
There's P's and F's. So
Yeah,
it's like
even say I don't know who it is.
I'm going to go with Pfeiffer. There's a lot of F's in that name. Jesus.
All right, go ahead.
Is Kody coming into the EOS next season? Want to race the T6.1 against him?
I wish I was going. Those are some of my favorite races to go to, but no, probably not. It's just, we have a bunch of good drivers and helpers over in Europe. It just makes more sense for them to go usually. So every once in a while we'll take a trip over and do one of those, but I'll say most likely not. But the truck is pretty fun on carpet, so we'll get the setup posted from Spencer at the Oregon race.
Right on. I ask how fast RC cars go. Chris Trudeau, do you ever just go play with RC cars or bash, crawl, etc.? Is it only racing or testing? And do you ever just have fun?
I haven't in a long time. That's how I got started with it, though. I was doing like some bashing before I was racing, but no, I did a couple RTR projects working associated, and sometimes with those you have to go out and do some of that stuff, but no, not really on my own time. Not as into that stuff.
It's all work.
I don't have a monster.
Monster truck. You need a monster truck, bro. Tim Merzen asked about the pronunciation of associated. Is it associated or associated? And then he says from the later 90s till about 2011, most of the changes in two-wheel buggy were refinements to previous designs. Do you think now that mid-motor has been figured out a bit that we'll see another period of time like without major design changes?
I think it's slowed down a little bit now. I mean, it seems like, we went from rear motor to stand up to lay down, and that all happened quickly. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, if we knew what the next thing was, we'd already be making it.
Right.
I could see it kind of being a little bit more of a lull. Most of the cars have a ton of adjustments, more than we used to, and they're pretty capable of running on a lot of different stuff. Unless something crazy, some new concept comes out that really is a huge improvement, I could see it being a little bit more refinements at this point. But I don't know. It doesn't take much these days for something to be quite a bit better. So, and there's a lot of companies now, so the more companies there are, there's more people out there trying to figure out the next latest and greatest thing. So that usually makes it go a little fast.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I guess there's always been more companies, but a while back in 10 scale, it was really only two.
Right. Right.
So, that kept things slower, and then the electronics were terrible back then, so that slowed things down. Everyone is worried about, cutting the comm, putting new brushes on. Nobody was putting a millimeter ball set of washers in their car.
Preoccupied.
Yep.
Yeah. And then he asks, were there any ideas for the B6.1 that didn't make the cut for production? I mean, if there was, it's not like you'd reveal that, probably.
I mean, sometimes I can't specifically think of one from this vehicle, but there has been stuff in the past where you want to attempt something, but there could be a worry about failure or a worry about it maybe being a step backwards. It's like being too risky. And sometimes you won't pull the trigger because of something like that. I can't think of anything on this project. There has been things like that on previous generations where I wouldn't say held back because that's not really the right term, but didn't maybe do something we kind of wanted to explore just to play it more safe. So especially with the two-wheel drive buggy, that's the biggest class. I don't know if it's the biggest class worldwide, but for sure the biggest class for Associated. So
right.
If he did something really detrimental, that would be a huge problem. So that stuff that's more like kind of new or out of the ordinary usually has to go through some pretty serious testing before it makes it into a kit.
Right on. And his last question, why hasn't a 2-gear transmission ever been used in off-road?
Just getting the ratio right. You'd have to get like 2.6 to 1. You can't. That's what our car is. Most of the cars are pretty close to that. Usually between 2 gears, you don't want to jump up more than 2 to 1 at a time. So it causes gear match problems. Plus, you have you can imagine to make it about the same ratio as it is, the diff gear would have to be huge. So that way the top shaft would be bigger too, so you could get the motor far enough away from the diff for it all to fit. It's really just a packaging thing. I mean, the other problem with 2 gears, you're going to be back to the 4-gear motor orientation, which isn't a good thing for most of the tracks you run on. So you could do it with a belt, I guess, like 2 gears with a belt between them would be the only really reasonable way to do it.
Cool. Interesting. All right, Adam Rails, question for Kody. What is your favorite aspect of the design process of a new car? And then that wasn't a reply to that question. That was a previous. So yeah, what is your favorite aspect of the design process of a new car?
It's usually something that's like you hate in the beginning. It's like something that's you don't really have a good way of figuring out. Like you usually hate it the whole way through, but then towards the end, once you kind of get it figured out and start to make progress on it, those are usually the best ones because you actually feel like you had to, put a lot of thought into it. Like a suspension arm a lot of times is pretty simple. it's like, you just got to figure out the length and your shock locations. But when you kind of take an idea that starts out not so good and it turns out to be, one of your favorites, that's usually the best stuff. Like that, we had that new rear arm insert on our new two-wheel drive rear arm to kind of get the shock locations closer together. That went through a lot of iterations, and I kind of proposed an idea that was basically the same concept. It just wasn't as clean. And I'm really glad that, we got together and a lot of people gave their input to make it better, because even though it accomplishes the same thing, the original way I had it done would not have been nearly as nice as it came out. So anything like that you kind of just, everyone gets together and really brainstorms to make it better. So it's the normal, like making a ball cup that just kind of is what it is. There's nothing. you draw it, I guess you can make it aesthetically different, but
right.
It's the products that are kind of just different than whatever else has been done.
Yeah, basically, I think what he's saying is the process from starting something that is going to be a long haul is really frustrating, because it's going to be, you're going to have a ton of different versions, and you're going to keep refining and changing, and so it's just a long process that's frustrating because you're never making yourself happy. Like every little version, you're just like, I don't really like this, and then you're just like changing it, and then you're like, I kind of like it. And then you finally get to the version you like, and then you're all of a sudden you're like, all right, I like this now. This is my favorite.
Yeah, there's always that feeling of like, thank God we settle.
Yeah. So, and that's actually, I think, and those are the designing and the engineering side of actually doing stuff. It is painstaking process, I guess.
I think it would actually be kind of cool. Well, maybe I'll have to talk to the guys over at AE, but there's been at least 2 or 3 parts of these cars that I can think of offhand that we ended up making them, but the progress from like the first concept to where it finished is so different. It'd be kind of cool to post that stuff, but it might be kind of hard to find the early versions of the files. But I bet you people would get kind of a kick out of it, because some of them were like, you'd see the first version and you'd be like, holy moly, thank God they didn't make that.
That would be cool to check out.
I think I have my original. I think I still have all my original variations when I was working on the B44. And it was like, it's just like you're saying, like you start off with this, like got this idea of something, and you're working on it, and you're just like, oh God, this isn't coming out to what I was thinking. And then you're making changes, and then you get a little input from somebody. In my case, whoever was talking with me on the project at the time, whether it was Cliff or Kurt or somebody, and then he'd make more changes, and then you start like, all right, I'm kind of feeling this a little bit more. And then I think I have some of those things. I don't remember. I'd have to check. I haven't looked at my home computer in forever.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting for sure. Yeah, I mean, the ones offhand I can think of would be the new rear arm on the two-wheel drive, the insert for the shocks, that went through a lot. The B6 battery strap, it's got like that. It's got the different, the battery strap's got the different holes on the side. And it just, and then the battery strap itself fits tight on the battery, and that's how you move it. It seems like simple now. I can't even understand how I didn't come to that in the beginning, but the first variations of that were so much more complex. Yeah, I'm sure I could dig that one up. It'd be pretty funny to post this as like, maybe it's like an April Fool's thing next year.
That'd be good.
All right, next one is kind of a running goof here. Tim Merzen, word on the street is that Venti Very Berry refreshers are the best drink to improve lap times. Is this true? No,
It's a false.
Fake news.
False. Spencer was drinking those things while he was going out of style at the Oregon race, and I did hot lap him in truck, so don't get fooled by that. He did say that he got J-Lo to buy to get the new Starbucks credit card so he can go to Starbucks more often.
Well, so I could get more credit for going.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
All right. Out of nowhere, my cousin chimed in here and says, this is for me and Gotti.
God.
Who do you think has a better chance of going to the Super Bowl, Pats or Niners?
Already answered it.
Yeah, right. I mean, I said legit Pats have a better chance. You know, maybe Niners in a couple years, no big deal. Chris Christo, why does the SC6.1 / T6.1 use the B64 rear hubs and not the B6.1 style?
Well, I didn't do this project, but I know at least the answer. I don't know why maybe this was chosen, but the arm is a lot longer on the truck. So the two-wheel drive, the B6 hub, has a lot of offset. So if you use that hub on the new truck, it would be much too wide. It'd be illegal. So the B64 hub is a very similar design. It just I think it reduces the width of the car by maybe 3 or 4 millimeters per side. So because the arm's longer, that brought everything back into the normal width.
All right, there you go. Answered that one for you, bud. Let's see, next question. Chris Russ, how much do you know about the oval community, and how do you feel about the growing number of associated conversions in that market? And do you have any interests in trying it out?
I don't actually know a ton about it. We actually have looked into making an oval car, but it's funny, like we were all like, everyone in the engineering room kind of got gung-ho to do I don't remember if it was a sprint car or a late model version, but once we started looking into it, it's just a lot more specialized than I think we were ready for. You'd almost you'd have to really commit to doing it, I think, unless you just wanted to make like a more fun version of it where it just aesthetically looks right. Those guys it's pretty in tune. I don't know if all of them have it, but one of the ones we were looking at, the rear arm has an adjustment to change the toe on the arm. It's some pretty cool stuff, but I just think they would have to really make the decision and know there's a big enough market to put that kind of time into it. It's pretty evolved by this point, but they are pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
To me, what I would see is I actually think that to do the oval car right, it would have probably more parts and more adjustments than a B6 race car would. Because you're talking about variable, A-arms, different lengths. You're talking about A-arms that you can adjust toe in on the A-arms. The cars aren't symmetrical at all in terms of left to right on parts. And, in our side, we're relying on a lot of things being symmetrical at times because it makes the car less expensive.
Yeah, you combo that with, that's a pretty specialized racing. And it's like when you're racing oval, where I'm not trying to make this sound easier, it's just different. It's it's easy to drive, it's not easy to go fast, but there's no jumps, and it's just an oval track. So if your car or whatever you make isn't as good, it's going to be very obvious. So just to take a stab at it, and hopefully it's good from the get-go, is going to be pretty far-fetched. And then, most of these companies that are involved with it are a little bit smaller and have the ability to make little refinements and updates frequently, which if you can't do that, you're not going to be able to kind of race in that type of racing.
Sure.
With Associates, they're too big at this point to kind of be the company that has a car that they make, they update it, several times a year. It's just not going to happen. So, and if you make something that, even if it looks cool and it works pretty good, in oval racing, you know how it is, but if it's not the fastest thing, you just can't really run it. You're not just going to go outdrive somebody that bad.
Good answer. Steve Charles. His thoughts, your thoughts on the T6.1, and will there be a carpet version?
I don't know. At this point, no. I mean, the buggy, we're able to do 2 different versions because the sales on the 2-wheel drive buggy are the highest of all of our cars for sure. The truck stuff, the sales are okay, but it's just, there's minimum order quantities on these kits, and you have to order twice as many. It's not really a problem with the first time you order a kit. Yeah, there's enough sales, but it's the reorders down the road that would get to be a problem with 2 different versions of the truck. But I don't know. I mean, that could change if the way carpet's growing. It's getting bigger, and I honestly think truck's the second most fun class to drive on carpet. So who knows if that gets the truck class bigger, then it's not like they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like, I was talking about it with Kody a little bit too, but it's like on dirt, 4-wheel drive is like one of the best classes to run because, they have traction, they're nice to drive, but like on carpet and AstroTurf, they actually are almost like the worst cars to drive.
Too much grip.
Yeah, and then so Kody was almost saying or thinking that, these truck classes or modified or 13.5 truck classes could be really popular on carpet and Astro because they're actually kind of fun to drive. Like, truck actually needs that grip to kind of make it a little more fun.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun at the race. It drives, I don't know, 90% the same as your 2-wheel drive, where a 4-wheel drive feels completely different. And it doesn't share any parts. At least the truck shares the majority of the parts. So, I mean, I'm not going to say if. When I go to a carpet race again, it will for sure be 2-wheel drive and truck again. That made it easier to travel. I needed less stuff. It was fun. Yeah, it was just, those are the 2 best classes on carpet at this point. The 13.5 4-wheel drive class is decent. It's like the modified 4-wheel drives, though, to go fast. You have to have them so on the edge. It's not even really fun to watch, to be honest. It's like watching Spencer and Mayfield out there. It's, there's some other people out there that have their cars maybe looking better, but they're just not fast like to what those guys are running. And yeah. I don't have that much time to deal with it anymore. So the truck class is my second class for carpet.
Sweet. Javier Anaya asks, will we see you racing more again like you used to, or will you just stick to the engineering/R&D work and testing?
It's probably going to stay like it is for now. I mean, I like going to the track, but I think to me it's more work than it used to be, even though you don't have like all the electronic problems like we used to. It's a lot of tire prep and car prep, and I don't know, we'll see. I've just been busy. This year's been busy, just all kinds of stuff, work, and bought a house and stuff, so busy with other things. I still keep up with it. Like, I'm watching Silver State, as we speak, but it's just not as much time personally at the track, but I still pay attention to what's going on.
Okay, question from Pete Phillips, fan of the show. Is AE considering an entry into the solid axle monster truck segment?
Yeah, this is similar to the oval question. I know at one point they were looking to make something, but I'm not sure because it was I wasn't really working on those projects, but I'm not sure what derailed it. If it was when they looked into it, if it was maybe more in depth than they thought, and they're just going to have to wait or whatever. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely been a consideration. There's no reason not to. It's just there's really not that. These companies don't have as many employees as you think they do. So, kind of deciding who to put on these projects and when is usually the biggest hurdle. I mean, there's only 3 people, full-time employees at Associates, that do design work. So we do a lot of racing classes that take up the majority of those guys' time.
All right. Final question. Chris Trudeau. One tool in the pit box you can't leave home without. And can't is all caps. So it sounds very important.
These days, it's the Makita. I actually never used to use a drill to work on my car. I don't know if I've just gotten lazier or if I think it was when we went to metric hardware. Because that's when everything was a 2.0 millimeter screw or hex size. So as soon as that happened, it's like the drill. I used to use the drill for everything. I'll be setting gear mesh and I'm using the drill.
Yeah, I've seen Mayfield do that.
When it was 440 hardware, it was like you had a 1/16, 5/64, 3/32. So changing the bit was like more cumbersome than just using hand tools. But as soon as it was like all one size, I don't even know if I get my like regular tools out anymore. It's like the Makita and a nut driver, and that's it.
Wow.
It is. It is nice. I don't bring it when I go to the track or the races, but I always ask somebody to use one. Like when I go to take my wing off or something, I'm like, "Oh, can I use your Makita?"
Jeez.
That's great.
I mean, I don't even know how you go to races without it. I mean, when I get there, it's like I open up my toolbox, and the only thing I take out right away is the Makita. It's like I know I'm gonna need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that,
funny.
and yeah, I mean everything else is. I mean, honestly, these days, if you show up to these, especially the carpet races, if you show up with a setup that you know is good, I mean, you don't really have to do a ton, unless it's just an oddball layout or something. It's a little. That's why I do it more these days. It's a little bit easier to do it less frequently than the dirt racing, because the tires work right away, and as long as the carpet's a similar grip level, your setup should be about the same as the last time you went. So a little easier to get out there and get on pace right away.
My tool in the pit box that I can't leave home without is the J Concepts camber gauge.
I do have that.
Gotta have it.
That's good.
Gotta have a camber gauge.
It's better than before Jason had that, and I just used like, a soda can or whatever.
Eyeball.
Like the closest 20 degrees.
I got this app
honestly, what's funny is when I race, I still don't use a camber gauge.
It shows.
Thanks.
It just feels like one of those adjustments. I'm like, it's not wasting my time, but
close enough.
It's like between the tires and wheels not being perfectly true, and then slop in the car. And
good point. Making good points.
It's like it changed. With the camber again throughout suspension. It's just like as long as it's, I don't know. It sounds terrible, but as long as it's pretty close to 1 degree, I'm okay with it. If it's as long as it's not positive, then it looks bad. But.
Well, that's what I've always said about the camber is I'm like, where do you want me to set it? Do you want me to set it with the ball clips slacked in or slacked out? Do you want me to set it on the part of the wheel or the tire that, it's not perfectly true? Like maybe I glued my tire. I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, I can't remember, how many times, like, back in the old days, somebody's like, it's like your parents buy you the RPM camber gauge and you're like trying this thing out. And like you set your camber like, and you look at it and you're like, this doesn't look freaking right. and then I just change it to whatever I thought it looked good by eye, and I was much happier with that.
Yeah, I always have to do the method where you like set your car down. I set it down and roll it forward at ride height and check it. Because if you like, especially in the front end on these cars, the front end like because you have the camber and the toe adjustment. It's like if you roll it backwards versus forward, it changes a decent amount.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm not that picky with it. I'm more picky with the front toe. It's like if it looks funny, that's a no-no.
Jason, is there camber in monster trucks?
There's not any camber in monster trucks.
Well,
there is toe.
Sleep tonight.
Do you guys are these monster truck events racing, or is it like?
Yeah. No, they race. Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll tag you. We'll tag you in the video.
This is the video I'm getting tagged in.
Gotti, Gotti will be responsible for this.
Well, the one you're going to get tagged in, Kody, is just a bunch of guys doing freestyle until they crash. So, this is definitely not very technical looking. It's more about the guy that's just funny.
The YouTuber.
Yeah, he's just funny. He's a character. He's a character.
Well, that's some of the questions for the that was entered on the page. So we got through them all. Thanks, listeners, for submitting.
So what's are you like making a full comeback now? You're adding people back a little bit, and you're gonna start like just trolling everyone, or what's going on here?
Who's that, Gotti?
I think.
Or Jason.
Yeah, full master Gotti.
I think Gotti actually left for a minute.
Yeah, he it looks like he dipped out for a bit. I don't know what he's doing. He's going to Domino's, maybe.
Just when you see him, just remind him he needs to bust out the grandma recipe comment.
Ooh, good point. I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, grandma's recipe. He's been doing song lyrics lately.
Grammy Gotti.
Yeah, Grammy got that one. I mean, I read the whole thing, and I've seen it many times. I still read it every time.
Now, are they different recipes, or is it all the same?
Yeah, they're not the same every time. He's varied it a little bit.
Yeah, that's a dedicated troll right there.
Yeah, if you haven't seen this comment I'm referring to from the one and only, you definitely need to somehow find it. I don't know how you can do that.
Right. I've seen it. I just didn't know, okay, he just copy-pasting, the same one over and over and over. But no, he is multiple recipes, I guess, from Grammy Gotti.
Well, he probably does a little bit of copy-paste, but maybe he'll change a few ingredients, I guess.
Ah. Gotcha.
Yeah, just remind him. If I don't see that soon, I'm gonna be pretty pissed.
Yeah, people seem to like that one a lot too. He gets a lot of reactions out of that.
All right, well, I'll let you guys go find this guy so he can end the show.
Got it. Well, got anything else for Kody, Jason?
I was just going to ask him a couple quick questions while we're waiting for Gotti. Was anything else? I don't know. It's hard to say, but projects on the table? Are you still got any associated projects you're doing or working on and stuff that people can look forward to, associated guys?
Yeah, I mean, I got a couple things I'm working on over there. A few little hop-ups for the two-wheel drive, but then I got another, not full kit, but some cool, I can't really talk about it right now because it's I'm hoping it works well is really the thing, but some cool stuff we're testing soon for the 2-wheel drive stuff. That would apply to like the buggy, truck, short course. Not like new kits or anything. It'd be more like some parts you can buy, but yeah, I think it could maybe take the cars to maybe another little bit of a step. Make them a little bit better for the low, mid traction dirt tracks. I don't know if it'll really be a benefit on carpet or anything like that, but it's always nice when you can kind of get the cars to be just easier to drive on all conditions. So that's kind of what we're working on right now. Seems like we've lost a little bit of that with all these new laydown cars. You get to the track, and if your tires and the grip's not up to snuff, it's not really the same level of fun. So try to get that back to where it was.
A little teaser.
Yeah, this one's a little bit more hush-hush than normal, so.
Cool.
Operation Hush Hush.
Area 51.
Yeah, well, it's something that's like not really done yet, so you don't want to give everyone a head start until we at least have it sorted out.
Yeah.
Then you got that's what Scott Hughes used to say back in the day. He would say, "All right, this is totally Operation Hush Hush."
Scott, he stopped by when we were at the Oregon race.
I was wondering about that. He works at Lunsford now, so he should be close.
Yeah, I mean, I knew who it was because, like, right when I started, he was still kind of racing. But he, he walked up and he talked to Joe and Mayfield, and I'm sitting there with Spencer on the other side, and I look over at Spencer, I go, "Do you know who that is?" He's like, "No idea." I'm like, "Yep, sounds about right."
Yeah.
He's like, "You should see his old pictures. He looks just like Jason."
Yeah, there was some times where we were definitely accused of being brothers.
Hey, back in the early. Say that again, bud. Didn't hear you, Cody.
I was saying he still looks like pretty much the same. I mean, you definitely wouldn't, confuse him for anyone. You still recognize him. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's very similar.
He was one of my favorite off-road drivers back in the day because he was literally the only guy running a Futaba radio. I remember I was cheering for him at the 96 Roarnats. I'm like, he's a chance to win it. It's the only guy up on the stand with a Futaba radio. And then the privateer, Chris Bing, happened.
Well, the only thing that hasn't changed since then, there's still only probably one guy with a Futaba radio.
Oh. Wow.
Oh.
Hey.
Damn.
Lots has changed in 20 years, but that's still the same.
Really? That's crazy.
Well, maybe.
Could you imagine if I would have beat Ken Wald?
I was just gonna say that was the same race where Jason could have ended Team Losi's 4-wheel drive efforts once and for all.
I was, as Gotti said earlier, I was this close.
Can you see it?
I was this close.
This close.
I was this close to ending.
From putting Losi
but Kody wasn't
out of business.
Kody wasn't racing or maybe barely born, but when Losi first prototyped their double X4, they brought it to the Roar Nationals in Pennsylvania in '96, and so the thing was all handmade. John Anderson made the whole car. There was only 3 of them. It was a Kenwald Hodap, and John Anderson had the 3 prototype double X4s. So they had like magnesium chassis and Delrin everything, and it looked badass. So for whatever reason, Reedy signed a few of us up for 4-wheel because it was like, I don't remember why, if it was a World's year or why we were signed up for 4-wheel, but somehow, like, I won A1
somehow
of 4-wheel, and I was just like, the whole time just like, oh my god, these guys are going down, dude. This is gonna be hilarious.
And the hype, the double X4 hype was nuts.
It was off the charts.
Oh, it was crazy. Even though they had dumb spoke wheels, it was still crazy hype.
You were almost winning. I mean, that's good. I mean, I was never almost winning.
You blew it!
I still got second overall, and I was just like, I didn't even care about four-wheel. That's what was fun. It's like, you know how it's like.
No pressure, just go F around, drive.
Yeah, like, two-wheel, because I ran 3 classes, so it was your two-wheel and truck, those were the main ones, and four-wheel was just like, oh, whatever, you'll kind of get in the main, and then,
wow.
Yeah, I won A1, I got second overall, but yeah, had to go to A3. Ken Walls had to earn his money and keep that four-wheel alive.
Yeah, that thing wasn't long-lived then, right? It wasn't that like 99 or 2000?
It was, well, you're saying it was still the same car then?
No, but I mean, if the double X didn't come out until 96, wasn't the triple X already out in like 1999?
Yeah, so 96.
Double X4.
Yeah, double X4 is the four-wheel drive. And that was the 96 Nationals, so it was in the summer. And I think in 97, the four-wheel came out.
Right, yep.
Official.
And then in 99, they made the triple X two-wheel.
When did the
I was
talking about the triple X four-wheel drive.
Triple X four-wheel, I want to say, well, Matt Francis, I want to say is 01.
I think you're right.
2001.
Mm-hmm.
Which seemed like a really short run. Seems like a really short run to have had a double X four-wheel.
Well, that's what I was getting at. I mean, for back then, that was like a really short time frame for a car.
Yeah, that had to be like a really bad decision.
But the only thing is they still ran the double X for they ran the double X and the triple X for a long time. You picked whatever one you thought was better.
Yeah. Think guys used to go back to the double X?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, supposedly there's a big story about how there was a Worlds in 2001.
Yep.
It was supposed to be 2001, but it ended up being in 2002 in South Africa because of 9/11. Oh. So it was in 2002, and that's when this triple X four-wheel was brand new. And supposedly Losi wanted everybody to use the triple X because that was the newest car out, and they wanted everyone to use the triple X four-wheel. Well, Yuka Stanari busted out the double X. Like, he was the only one that brought it because the other guys were like, okay, we're supposed to run the triple X. So Yuka broke out the double X and ended up winning the four-wheel portion of the race with the double X, and he was supposed to be running the triple X. So Matt Francis,
for the next decade, they ran both.
Yeah, and I think Matt Francis actually TQ'd with the triple X, but Yuka ended up beating him in the main with the double X, so Matt was super pissed.
Whoops.
Matt won two-wheel anyway, I think, but that was the real, weird time period that Associated didn't really have their act completely together in the racing market with a new vehicle, and the generations of the drivers were kind of switching hands. So
yeah, I mean, it's just weird to think that a company could even just not have a four-wheel drive. Like, that could even be a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so at that particular time, Associated had that the B3X, which was the car that had some features of the B4. I think that's what Mark Pavidis ran at that race for Associated, and I don't even remember if Billy Easton was there. Maybe he was. But it was the weird where, the generations of the Pavidis the Kinwald, the Greg Hodaps, and then there became like, there was that inner kind of the in-between generations of like the Travis Amescuas and Matt Francis kind of got in there, and that's when he had like a nice little run there for a few years.
Yep, and now we can't get rid of these guys that are fast.
Well, yeah, and especially in 10 scale off-road, you still got the Ryans, and so.
Yeah, it's like same. Well, I mean, there's guys that kind of joined the party, but it's like those guys are still pretty hard to beat.
Yeah, very few and far between of guys able to get in and race with those guys, and I mean, I know you've said it, Kody, like when you've raced as well as you can, and you're just like, how do these guys beat me? Like, you're like, I don't understand why these guys can beat me. Like,
well, especially like every time. It's like, you got your friend, like the guys that are kind of on your level you race with, and it's like, you win some, they win some, and sometimes you like smoke the other person. So you'd think like everyone could here and there beat whoever, but it just like doesn't work like that with them.
Yeah, it's like these guys. It's wild. It really is.
Yeah,
that's why I would say.
Ryan, and Jared. It's like they've been the fast guys since before I was even racing. So it's like I never was really beating them consistently. But like Spencer, it's like I remember when he started getting fast. Like I'd always beat him, and then there was a time when it's like, oh man, he's kind of getting close. And then there was like oh man, he finally beat me, but I can still beat him. And then it was like the full on. All right, well that's done.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep, it just is what it is. They're good. I mean, you beat them every once in a while, but it's like everything has to work out. Your weekend has to go good. Usually the way you beat them is like when they're losing to one of the other ones, and they just get mad and purposely wreck.
Yeah, they blow out, mentally blow out.
Yeah, you're like happy to get fourth, and they're not content with anything other than the win, so then they just get 10th instead.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
Yep, that's what happens.
Well, I think that's about all we got. Kody, appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, no problem. It's good to hear from you guys. You guys you're back. I was like, it was a hiatus. I was wondering where you were hiding.
Huh?
Yeah,
now I know the whole story.
Oh, yeah.
Kody requests you need to go back to the when you do troll the Grammy Gotti recipes.
Oh, really? Okay. I like those, huh?
Yeah, that's definitely high on the totem pole.
Okay.
It actually came up the other week because I was trying to troll somebody, and I was like, man, I remember it made me think of your post, and I'm like, and then it made me remind me of you. I'm like, where the hell has Gotti been? Because I used to see her, you'd share stuff or post stuff, and it's like, his profile's not even on here. And then I checked my other Facebook page, and that's when I saw you had asked me to do a show. I'm like, his ears are burning.
Yeah, or something was. Yeah, that's cool.
Gotti.
Grammy Gotti recipes.
Yeah, so bring back Grammy Gotti. Yeah.
I will.
I told everyone on the show that they need to go find your Grammy Gotti post, so you need to start getting that out there.
I'll get them back out for you. Not a problem. I wasn't sure if anybody enjoyed that.
And just to confirm, we weren't sure. Do you change the recipe, or is it always... I thought I'd seen different ones.
Oh, yeah. She has a lot of recipes I posted.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's what I thought.
Right.
That's good work.
Are any of them Operation Hush Hush?
No. What are you talking about? I'm sure.
All the recipes, so you can show them all. I just didn't know.
Oh yeah. I was sharing them. It was her dying wish that I pass on the recipes to people, and I figured what better place to do it than Facebook.
That's true.
Help people take a trip to Flavortown.
Yeah.
There must be a lot of dying wishes from grandparents, because people definitely offer up on Facebook a lot things people should do and ways they should do it, and
Well, it's one thing Grammy Gotti wanted me to do, and I was doing it there for a while for you guys. So I'm glad somebody liked them. That's great. Try them out sometime.
Well,
They're
you've
great.
been slacking on it. She'd be pissed. So
Yeah, I know. I
got
gotta get back in gear. I'll do that for you. Not a problem. Share them to everybody associated. Try them out sometime too. They're really good.
I will. I'll spam people with it.
Yeah.
And don't forget to forward calls to fellow associates with the 1-900 numbers.
Oh, yeah.
that's right.
I don't even know if the.
Yeah, I got to figure out who's not going to fire me if I do that.
Yeah.
Just got to do it to the right people.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I feel like there's a potential for that not to go well.
Rick, you got a tech call
There's
on
definitely
line 1.
potential.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick, you're right. If he's listening, he's next.
I had a question about some brushes. I don't know.
Brushes. Line
Brush and spring combo.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just take this call.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, that was fun. I'm glad you're back on the show again. That was great. Thanks for stopping by.
For sure, thanks for having me on.
You're
I'll
welcome
be
back.
sure to be looking out on Facebook for some good updates.
Oh, hell yeah. And you're welcome back anytime, man.
All right.
If you guys
Hit
need
me
to
up,
help
I'm ready.
us sell anything for you guys, just let us know. We'll promote it.
Will do.
Our tens and tens of listeners will, buy associated.
Almost to a
Okay,
million
well,
downloads.
That's true. We're almost there.
This one's going to put you over the top. I can feel it.
Oh, man, I hope so.
Might be right.
I hope so. All right, Cody. Enjoy the weekend.
All right, sounds good. I'll talk to you guys.
Party hard.
Enjoy it.
And we'll talk to you
Thanks
again.
for coming on.
Yeah, will do.
All right, buddy.
All right, see you guys.
See ya.
See you, Coach.
Bye.
I had to step away for a moment. There was a huge windstorm here. I don't know about how it's down in your end there, Kirby.
It's like swirling winds, almost like I have the feeling like it might rain here soon, but
So I didn't hear the last probably 10 minutes with you guys and Cody there, and but anyway, the neighbors had one of those what do you call those things? I don't want to say gazebo, but it's a metal frame thing, and it for outdoor picnics. It's
yeah, kind of.
I guess it is a
canopy,
gazebo, maybe.
a canopy.
Canopy type thing. A real nice one though, you know what I mean? And it flew
Right.
over my fence,
Oh my god.
and they were knocking on my door to get permission to go on my fence, but it flew over the fence and it's all bent to hell. They just put it up a couple days ago.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So that's where I went.
Ugh.
So I was helping them hoist it over the fence. And so
There goes that gazebo.
I was praying to God the internet would not go down or anything while you guys were talking, but came back. I was like, oh, thank God, they're still on. So good news.
Working good.
Yeah. So big thanks to Cody for stopping by again. That was a good one. It was really good. It was great.
Pretty informative.
Team Associated,
It's weird,
Kody Numedahl.
weird, wild stuff.
Hey, he likes Grammy Gotti recipes. I'm going to have to put those back out.
Wild.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's wanky time.
I mean, I kind of forgot about him until he mentioned it, and I was like, oh god, how could I forget?
I didn't forget about him. I only have I'm 100 friends on there now, so it's I kind of just haven't really, I don't know, been doing much of anything. I put stuff on Jason's posts.
Yeah, you've been kind of getting back in on that.
Yeah, slowly on the J Concepts post, I'll put I put up the lyrics to songs and stuff.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
What was the recent one?
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. Rick
Yeah,
Roll.
yeah.
Rick Astley.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Post the lyrics. It was a hit. People liked it. Kirby's better at trolling now than I am. So
Hey, so here's my one buddy shared this on Facebook. This is legit too. A New Jersey high school baseball player sues his coach for telling him to slide.
oh my God.
So it says it's real brief. New Jersey judge is being asked to consider whether a high school baseball coach was negligent when he signaled for one of his players to slide during a game, resulting in injury.
Oh, no.
A judge has already dismissed the case, but the appellate court ruled, I don't know what that is, that the lower court judge never analyzed whether the player presented facts in support of his claim that conduct was reckless. The judge will now reconsider the suit and either dismiss it or set a trial. Come on.
Oh, my God.
This
world,
day and age is...
yeah, it's going crazy. What do you think of that, Jason?
I'm still singing that song in my head. Never gonna let you down.
Well, go check it out. YouTube it later, Jason. Go watch it with Allison.
You know what you should be thinking of the NWO entrance song.
Yeah.
New World Order. Well, Jimi Hendrix.
That's what it is, right?
Yeah. Yep. Jump it down with the edge of my hand.
All right, guys. You guys have a good weekend.
All right.
How about that?
Sounds good.
How about you? Go hit some baseballs around and hit some home runs.
Well, I'm not a home run hitter, but I'm a base hitter.
Don't forget, if your coach tells you to slide, you could if you get injured, you could sue him.
Ugh.
And Jason, are you going racing?
No, I'm gonna be over at the office.
Oh, well, we could do another podcast.
I gotta write some press releases, and yeah, I mean, I'm sure I could do something. We got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of stuff coming in.
Yeah.
In the next couple weeks, so I gotta get up to speed on all my writing.
Jason and I recorded a podcast earlier today on the Anchor app.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I called him up this afternoon. He
was.
Yeah. We got some.
That was all the Pete Phillips messages, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. He listened to it, and I got a few people that listened. I could tell when people listen. It shows you the listeners and stuff, and I was like, oh, look at that. Some people downloaded the app to listen to it. It was just about 10 minutes long, and it was just Jason. I caught Jason. Test. He was busy working on an instruction manual, and so he wasn't really into it.
Preoccupied.
He acted like he was busy, but to me it sounded like he just woke up.
You might be right.
Yeah. But no, we did. We were talking a little bit in there. We were trying out the app. It's an Anchor app. It is on Android. You could download it, Kirby. That way we can call you up out of the blue.
Okay.
Anchor app, Android, Apple, download it, and you can listen to anything that we put up there then. You just go on to the app, search Radio Impound, and we're up there.
Excellent.
Now, I also can upload to iTunes and stuff, but I didn't choose that. I didn't check that box because I don't want everybody getting confused right now because I'm not sure how it all works.
Right.
So I don't want these
call.
different Radio Impounds up there. Everybody's like, what the hell is this one? What's this? So I'm just keeping I'm keeping everything on the Anchor app right now, just trying it out. So I was driving down the road today talking to Jason, and it works pretty nice. Not bad. Right, Jason?
It was. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Cool.
So what I did is I just add Jason to the call, and then he accepts it, and then boom, right there it is. Done. So if you download that, Kirby, we could try it sometime. Just do a little short bit, you know what I mean? We're calling it the Radio Impound Drive-Thru. We're taking that name from Cornette.
Oh.
And yeah, most likely
stole it.
One of us will be driving down the road and podcasting. Works pretty nice, So there you are, fans. Check that out. Anchor app. It's Anchor, Anchor. Google, Apple, download it.
Right on.
All right. Facebook.com/Radio Impound. We're also on the Twitters, which I never really use. I don't know why. I'm always on Twitter, but I never...
Yeah, you are.
I hate Twitter.
I love Twitter. I love it.
I don't love it, and I don't hate it. I just don't use it like I used to. I used to be on it. Jesus, I have like almost 16,000 tweets.
Jesus Christ.
I used to be on it a lot.
Yeah.
Now it's just Instagram is the shit.
Yeah. Okay. We're not on.
By the way,
we're not on
I
Instagram.
tag you
I don't
guys.
understand.
I tag you
I don't
guys
understand
daily.
Twitter.
Nobody even.
I check them out. I'm the only one that responds. You tag Heisey and all these guys. They
you're
never
right.
respond.
You're right. Jason doesn't. He's been sleeping.
You know, I actually check them. I don't like the process of liking when you get tagged in something on Instagram.
Jason, you gotta trust the process.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yo, how good is that Ben Simmons
Oh, I
Wilt
love
Chamberlain Photoshop? Oh my god,
One.
it's so good. Love it. Love it.
1 point.
One.
I'm putting that up right now on my story.
That's so good.
Hey Kirby, your dad was at the. Didn't you say your dad was at that Wilt Chamberlain game?
Yep, my dad was there. That was at Hershey Arena.
When he scored 100 points.
Scored 100 points.
Wow.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. Pretty wild.
Yeah. But
And now people with that playoff game can say, I was there when Ben Simmons scored 1 point.
good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love trouble.
All right, check out jconcepts.net. Show Jason some
Check it
love.
out.
I mean, he takes the time out of his day to be on the show. At least you could do is buy something. Christ. Right?
Totally.
Yeah. Help him out.
YouTube /KHAM187.
Right. Check out some videos of Rainbow Six Siege.
Some Siege videos. I have a whole bunch of content. I have on my PS4. I just got to get to editing.
Right.
I need to sit down and just knock out 3 hours and just edit videos.
Can't say I never check them out because I always do.
Yeah, it's true.
That's right.
That is true.
So check them out. Especially if you want to learn how to play Rainbow Six Siege, you could just watch Kirby.
Heck yeah.
And then on YouTube, J Concepts is on there. They got a lot of stuff. So J Concepts Garage.
Yeah, man.
And then J
Check it out.
Something else. J Concepts something.
Check that monster truck stuff out.
Thomas
Train.
Thomas Train puts up makes all those videos up for Jason and does a hell of a job, right, Jason?
This is on YouTube.
I don't know, whatever you guys do.
Is this on MySpace?
So the ones that are on YouTube are actually done by Rich, and the ones Facebook Live is Thomas does Facebook Live.
Excuse me, I didn't know you had dedicated staff for each social media platform.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Hey, I'm here right now updating. I update the J Concepts Instagram.
We're not on Instagram, are we, Kirby? Radio Impound. I don't think we are.
Negative.
Yeah. I don't. Okay.
You need to be. That would be cool. You could put one photo up and then a little description. Hey, this is on the latest show.
Oh yeah. Well, Kirby could do that. He's the Instagram
don't make
master.
Don't make me like a publisher though, because I'm already doing I already manage 3 or 4 Instagram pages.
Oh, don't worry. We weren't even thinking about it anyway.
Oh.
Well,
okay.
Yeah. I'll let Kirby handle that because Instagram's
That's more of his thing.
that's more his
I'm
thing.
all
Yeah.
over it.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it, guys. I'm going. I'm gonna go and
Me too, man.
enjoy the rest of this Friday night. Good luck to anybody out there racing.
I'm going to finish my laundry.
And
I'm going to check on the Golden State Warriors are currently getting beat by the Pelicans right now. I got to check in on that.
ooh.
And the Cavaliers, how about them going up 2-0?
Oh man.
Nobody expected that.
I
Just ask all those ESPN anchors, man.
LeBron.
Yeah. The GOAT,
He's
LeBron.
been big.
GOAT.
He's been big, man.
If he gets to the finals, that's what? How many years straight? 8 then?
8?
I think it's 8. It might be 8 years in a row to the final.
Good Lord. That's crazy.
Well,
That is
you can
nuts.
count. It's he went 4
Suck on
years
that,
in a
Jordan.
row with he went 4 years in a row with Miami. Then he went to Cleveland, and he's been there 3 in a row.
Yep. So 4
now
plus
if this
3.
could be this year. So he's at 7 currently. It'll be.
And
it could be 8 if he got there this year, and then he went there once before with Cleveland, so it'll be
9 total.
Oh.
9 total, 8 in a row. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
That is crazy. That's a crazy stat.
I mean, it is awesome, but he needs to get a few more wins.
Yeah.
Jordan could never ever have done that.
Never.
Yeah, never ever.
Even with the help of those refs.
Mm.
I hope Ernie's listening.
Yeah.
Ernie listening. He doesn't even know how to download the show.
Download an internet.
How do I what radio station is this on?
Is this FM radio?
Can I get Ernie back on the show? But Ernie wants to be on the show when you guys are here. He doesn't want to be on the show again. It's just me and him.
I'll have him. I want to talk to him. I've never actually. The timing hasn't worked when.
Yeah, it never works out.
Dude, you guys will just be laughing the whole time. You guys will be dying laughing.
What?
Hey,
Ernie?
Remember that one?
When Ernie's on the show. Yeah, you guys will just be like, remember this, remember that.
It'll
You're just laughing the whole time.
Oh, love it.
Oh shit.
He wants to be back on it. We'll get him on the show. But Kirby has to be here.
There's a lot of stuff to
You
talk
have to
about.
be here.
Yeah.
So we'll get the boss back on.
Plus we got we talked about getting Paul Ciccarello on.
Oh, that's right.
Because
Yeah.
he's
Well, Jason, we're gonna have to pump
queue.
out. We're gonna have to pump out more shows, Jason. So you're gonna have to make yourself available.
I know. I gotta just quit work altogether and just do this full time.
We'll see if he's ready on over the weekend or something. There you go. All right.
Is this a paying job?
No.
Quit work. You can do it before you show up at noon.
Podcasting, making money. Funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul. I can't pronounce his last name, so.
Ciccarello.
He's a big fan of the show.
Guy's done it all in RC.
He's been racing
he's
as long
racing.
as I can remember. Everything.
And we had somebody recommended if we could asked if we could get him on, and I was like, you know what, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
So I did contact him, and it didn't work out. But Gotti has some renewed motivation.
Oh, sure do. I really do. I'm excited. I'm happy.
Tebow excited.
Yeah, I'm Tebow excited. I'm just been happy for the past week. It's been great.
I mean,
how do you? What's the? You got to end it, Kirby, with the theme music for the NWO.
Well, we got to watch copyright in here, guys. Yeah, Kirby could do it.
Oh.
Do it, Kirby.
you know what's crazy? So that just real brief. You know how we always thought about that, the copyright deals.
Yeah.
So Steve Mathis, the guy that does the Moto podcast I listen to,
Mm-hmm.
he has like a series of podcasts that he interviews. Well, he talks to one of the pro racers ahead of time, and he gets 10 of their favorite songs,
Mm-hmm.
unique artists, so 10 different artists, 10 different songs, and he plays like a good minute of these songs, maybe even more. So
Yeah,
I thought that too. I'm like, oh man, that's weird.
Well, you can do it. I mean, especially we're not. No, you can do it. It's not going to be an issue, really. I know podcasts that do it, and the most you'll get is a letter just telling you to stop. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think didn't we actually ask Steve, or you did when we first started this podcast about that?
Yeah, I did.
And he said, "Hey,
Yeah,
look, dude, just keep it like around 15 seconds, and you'll be fine."
Keep it brief.
Yeah.
Yep.
And which is true.
Yeah, I bounced a
I
couple
asked my buddy
questions
here
off.
that's a lawyer, and he said, if you just keep it around 15, even 30, you'll be fine. But, I mean, I guess you can even go over that, because I listen to video game podcasts, and they play actual music at the end. and it's a minute, 2 minutes, or whatever. Or sometimes some of these guys play the whole song, so.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't be able to upload the podcast to something like YouTube because YouTube will copyright it, right? Strike it right away, and it just won't play.
Mm-hmm.
So you just got to keep it off stuff like YouTube, and But that is what it is. So.
Word.
All right, guys. Have a good weekend. Radio Impound Podcast, number 170.
Oh.
Yeah, 170.
Getting close.
Brought to you by the NWO.